How we doing, everybody? Welcome to episode 18 of Punch the Air podcast. We're doing a little switch up tonight. I'm hopping in the host chair, the big boy chair. Hollywood to the right here is taking over my slot. And then we have a brand new guest, our buddy Toe. Toe,
what's up, boys?
It's a pleasure to
How y'all
have you
doing?
on. It's phenomenal. Yourself?
Pleasure to be here, man.
Awesome, man. Yeah,
Let's do this.
super excited to have you on. All right, guys. Well, we have like Brophy says, a juicy slate planned out here for y'all. Just a little breakdown. So we got some stories on the NFL. First being, are the Colts going to clean house? We're going to discuss Malik, Willis, Sam Ehlinger, their debuts. We're going to get into the Commanders, Taylor Henicke. We're going to discuss, Toe, your boy, Christian McCaffrey, what he just did. You know, first guy since LT.
God.
We're going to go over the NFC South. Are the Titans the favorites in their division? We're going to dive deep into Zach Wilson and all the issues that he's causing because he is looking like a colossal bust right now. Are the Vikings contenders or pretenders? Trevor Lawrence's performance. Then we're going to dissect Tony Pollard's performance and where he stands right now among all the RBs in the league. And then we are going to re-rank the 2021 quarterbacks and how we would draft them if we had a redraft there. And then beyond that, we got some fantasy football content. And then, like always, our Week 8 against the spread picks. Hopefully we do a little bit better than Week 7. And then last but not least, a fun one, a candy bar draft. All right, I know every draft we've done has
candy
been –
bar or just candy?
Or my bad, just candy. Just strictly candy.
Yeah.
We don't want to
That's
tie ourselves down to
total
candy
change.
bars.
That threw me for a loop there. You
I know.
almost fucked my entire draft up.
Every draft we've done has pretty much been alcoholics, so we're going to prove to y'all that we're not all raging alcoholics. And we're going to dive into some indulgences and what we like here on the show. But starting it off, so the Colts right now just lost to the Commanders 17-16. Probably should have won that game. Matt Ryan, is he hurt? Are they just benching him? Jonathan Taylor's not doing much. The defense is playing solid, but, I mean, the team's, 3-4-1 now. Just lost to Taylor Henicke and those boys. So, I mean, what are y'all thinking for the Colts? Do y'all think they clean house, or do y'all think they kind of keep the ship how it is? How would y'all proceed with that?
I think they're going to have to because, I mean, they already said Matt Ryan's done for the year. They already – not injury, but because just they want to start Ehlinger for the year, I guess, and just see what he's got.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking – I think Eberflus is definitely going to get fired. I just don't know if they're going to go away with Ballard too. I mean, they probably – it wouldn't hurt to do both.
You mean Reich?
Yeah, yeah. Reich and yeah. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. But yeah, I mean, I think losing both because I was going into losing both Sirianni and Eberflus was just both guys that Reich came in with. That's clearly fucking them up because their defense is still hanging along, but their offense is
Defense has been holding up.
Defense has been holding up, but their offense is 30th in the league right now, scoring 16 points a game. And it looks like, I mean, they just fired their offensive coordinator too, so they're, trying to hopefully hold it together and, change direction and how the season's going. But I think it definitely ends with Reich being fired. Don't know about Ballard, though.
Yeah,
I'm gonna. I think they got to get rid of their whole coaching staff, honestly, and most likely GM as well, because they can't keep making the mistakes they're doing with these quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I like Ehlinger, I think that he adds something to their offense, but I mean, they got to figure it out.
Yeah, they look rough right now, and in my opinion, I think it honestly stems from Chris Ballard. I think it stems all the way to the very top, and I don't understand the direction of the Colts. Like when Andrew Luck had his injury fiasco, whatever, he retired in 2018. But, I mean, since then, they've had a QB carousel, including Jacoby Brissett, Brian Hoyer, Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz, and now we have the tremendous Matt Ryan, Sam Ehlinger duo. But it's like, what the fuck is Chris Ballard doing? Like in 2019, whenever they got rid of Luck, he was praised for constructing this roster and then saving all this cap and making all these moves. But, I mean, what has he done since then? In 2020, when Brady was on the market, they were one of the finalists to get Brady, and Brady mentioned that he would like to potentially go to the Colts because at the time they had one of the best O-lines in the league. They had one of the best running games and a badass defense too. Instead, they signed Phillip Rivers to a 1-year, $25 million contract. we all know how that goes. And then following up to 2021, they decide to go get Carson Wentz when, Matthew Stafford, the Rams traded a lot to get him, but that's a guy that was on the market that they could have potentially, traded out for and got. And then we go back to the cap room thing to where that's where people praise Ballard. Oh, he saves his cap. But what has he done? Like, Michael Pittman's a good receiver.
He doesn't.
But outside of Michael Pittman, they have no help. And if you have an old-ass Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz as your quarterback, like, you got to have weapons surrounding them. In 2020 and 2021, too, those two quarterbacks, Wentz and Ryan, have been their leading cap guys. Beyond that, they're not paying anyone shit. So I just don't understand the direction of where they're going. But I personally would not tear it down because there is a lot of talent there still. I think the O-line will figure it out. But I think you got to make a splash for a QB. You got to trade up and draft a QB. And I think you got to get Chris Ballard the fuck out of there. I think Chris Ballard's the most overrated general manager in the league.
Well, the thing is, they've always been pretty much a quarterback away the last 5 years, but their reluctancy to go out and get that quarterback and try and basically get these, veterans who well, if they go back to when they were, the MVP caliber player, they'd be awesome. But of course, a 38-year-old Phillip Rivers and a old ass Matt Ryan and a Wentz who's washed. He basically had 12 games looking like an MVP and never looked the same since that ACL injury. And they definitely need to go get some more skill position guys. So, I mean, the entire team is good. It's just they don't really have a quarterback, and they never went to go get one. So the cap space thing is great, but they did need to, whether it was trade up and go draft a quarterback or, trade for Deshaun Watson or, there are several other things they could have done, and they just haven't. So that could cost Ballard his job.
They haven't at all, and it's just like they have not used their resources properly at all. It's like if you have that cap, you use that cap to either go get a rookie quarterback and then you sign pieces around them, or B, you go out and sign free agents surrounding your veteran quarterback that's absorbing all the cap. And they got the veteran quarterback the past few years that was trash, but they didn't surround him with anything. And they've been great at drafting and developing players. Yeah, they've had the cap. Like, they've been one of the.
They just don't do anything with it.
They don't do anything, and that's why I think it stems at the very top with Chris Ballard. If I was a Colts fan, I would have serious issues with him being my GM and with all the praise, because he's one of these GMs that he's one of the known GMs that gets all this praise, and I would love for someone to tell me why.
I mean, I'm not going to say he's overrated because he's clearly good at evaluating talent and good with money. It's just he didn't go out and make the big splash to get the quarterback.
But is he even the guy, though? Yes, they are good at drafting and developing players, but is he even that ear that's making those moves?
I mean, I would assume so. I mean, things kind of turned around for them drafting once they named him GM.
Traded for Buckner.
Yeah, I mean, you did trade for Buckner.
That was a good deal.
Was that, but you got to do that for a quarterback. You got to trade the first-round pick to grab a quarterback. And that's what he hasn't done, and it very well could cost him his job. But I think to say he's the most overrated GM in the league, I think that might be a bit much because he is good at evaluating talent and cap space.
But my thing is with that talent that's getting evaluated, I don't think he's the guy that's going out there and saying, let's pick this guy. I think it's whoever's the head of their scouting department. He's the guy that's in charge of the cap and in charge of constructing the roster with the finances that he has to his disposal, and he hasn't used them for shit. It's like in 2020, 2021, 2019, when your roster's the most stacked it's going to be, and your highest paid player is a shitty quarterback absorbing all of that, and then DeForest Buckner's next in line, and then after
Quentin
that,
Nelson.
But he's been on a rookie deal for a while.
No, they signed to an extension.
Yeah,
I'm talking 2019, 2020 though. Yeah. They just didn't use it. They wasted that offensive line.
Yeah, but I do think that their drafting got better once he got there. And their record hasn't been since Reich and Ballard have been there with the shitty quarterbacks they've had that they probably shouldn't have gotten. Their record has still been good, and they've made the playoffs. They probably should have made the playoffs last year too. But either way, no. The biggest fault of him is not going out and getting that quarterback. That's the biggest downfall.
Yeah. Joe, you got anything else?
I mean, you were talking about how they have a good record the past few years, but I mean their division is. Look at their division,
they have the
it's
Titans,
trash. So they're not. And really the Titans aren't even really that good. They just got Henry, so it's.
And they got Braves.
They're competitive, but it's not really like they're doing much with it.
Yeah. The Titans benefit tremendously from how shit this division is and how shit it has been for a while now. But going beyond the Colts here, I don't understand their deal here. But so we had a few rookies or not a rookie, one second-year guy, debuted this past weekend, with those being Malik Willis and Sam Ehlinger. Y'all see anything you like with those two guys, or too early to tell?
Well, Willis threw the ball 10 times and once in the second
Yeah,
half.
there's
So that was just
not
a Derrick
much
Henry game.
evaluate.
I think it's very obvious that Willis is not ready to be a starter.
No, not. He needs a couple years. And Ehlinger, he was 17 of 23.
Ehlinger had some.
He had some solid throws.
Yeah, he had
especially
like
the
203.
17
Yeah,
23,
he had some plays where
no picks. He had the fumble lost, but no touchdowns. Nothing crazy. I don't think he's a long-term answer, just because I feel like you can see a guy, especially through like 1 or 2 quarters, you can kind of tell, like, okay, he's got something. Like he's got a trait that can take him to being a starting quarterback. 'Cause usually those guys have at least, whether it's a running ability, whether it's their arm, they have something that can take him to being the guy. And he's probably just going to be a career-long backup and probably a solid backup, but nothing more than that.
I know one of the biggest knocks on Sam was his arm strength, and he did have one nice deep ball down the right sideline, which was pretty nice. It impressed me.
He had a few good throws.
He
really
helps
miss.
that offense by being mobile. Because Ryan is a statue, and their O-line is playing so badly that like it's just not it's a bad recipe with him in there. But he's strong, and his mobility, it helps him. And I thought it would open up more holes for Jonathan Taylor, making him play 11 on 11 football. But Taylor was also hurt for like half that game, right? Like he went out with that ankle injury.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Joe.
They now trade Naheem Hines too.
They got Zach Moss though.
Oh yeah, they did get Zach Moss. But yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying too. I went back and I watched all of his throws. There was not one throw that he flat out missed. He had one throw that he threw into the dirt, but he was getting pressured. And he had another throw to Alec Pierce, which it wasn't very accurate, but Pierce still caught it. He made a crazy good catch. But I agree. I think the Colts are definitely better off starting Sam Ehlinger versus Matt Ryan, because like you said, Matt Ryan can't fucking move. He looks like a goddamn grandpa out there. And this Colts O-line, say what you want, like this Colts O-line just is not it right now. Like Quentin Nelson's not even playing good, and if Quentin Nelson's not playing good, like that's going to stem a bunch of other problems. But I was honestly like pleasantly surprised with how Ehlinger looked. I think it's funny because his arm looks like it's gotten a lot better since his Texas days, but that motherfucker cannot move, bro. He looks like a blocking tight end trying to move, and I think it's funny because they had like 6, or not 6, but they had like 4 design run plays for him.
Yeah,
they tried to get him outside, and he couldn't get out. He can't. That's not it. Yeah. But he does have good pocket awareness. I was shocked.
It's the pocket presence.
Yeah. Yes, his pocket presence is not bad, but any kind of design runs or escape artist type of traits,
that's not it.
But he knows he has a feel for the pocket. I will say, based on watching that Commander tape.
But watching that, did you see him and be like, "This is our guy"?
No, but also
he's definitely better off than Matt Ryan starting for the rest of the year, especially with the state of the offensive line.
He has a chance though to be a starter in this league, I would say, based on what I saw. They got to the red zone 3 times, 2 field goals. They had to take 2 field goals in the red zone. Sam Ehlinger had another fumble in the Commanders' territory. Taylor had another fumble, another kick. I think they're on like the 30. So, they were driving the ball a good majority of the day. They didn't really have a problem pushing the ball downfield. It's just whenever it came to the red zone and the clutch time, they didn't make it happen. But that's what you'd expect from a Sam Ehlinger-led offense with an O-line that's not playing nearly what it should be, and with Michael Pittman as your only real threat on the outside.
Well, I think we're definitely going to see. In the coming weeks, there's gonna start being some film on him and the type of offense they're running, the type of routes they're running, and then we'll kind of really see what he's really made of.
He did have a few throws though that, like you said, he had a few deep balls that he put on a dime. There was a few of them.
Yeah. Do y'all think that Jonathan Taylor's struggles are all offensive line or a little bit of him?
I think it's a mixture of both.
Because he just doesn't look as explosive to me this year as last year. Like
he doesn't.
There's something off.
He's near the top in the league in broken tackles. He's still doing that, but he doesn't look like he has that burst that he had last year. Even in the Commander game, he had a few plays where the holes were there that you would think 2021 Taylor would take it to the house, and I don't know if he lost a step or what, but yeah, he doesn't look like he looked last year.
I'm gonna have to put it to the ankle injury. Like maybe that's keeping him down because he's been dealing with that for a few weeks, I think.
Yeah, or do you think it could just be from them like running him into the ground last year?
Potentially,
because he had a lot of carries at Wisconsin.
I mean,
too.
yeah, we see this all the time with running backs. I mean, by the time they're fucking 25, it's like they're 30. With the wear and tear that these guys get. I mean, Zeke's a prime example, but
that's why I was scared about drafting Derek this year.
Yeah, well, Derek's just a man amongst boys. That guy's different, bro. Derek Henry's crazy. All right, but yeah, so those two, Malik, Willis, definitely. Let's see more. Ehlinger, not bad, but we'll still see more.
Willis is a couple years away at the best.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Commanders stick on this game. They pulled out the win, won 17-16. My boy Terry McLaurin caught that ball on the one. They punched it in. Actually, won me some money too. I like that plus 125 underdog money line. Yeah, you were not happy about that one, but I won some money on that.
Yeah, fucking Colts money line.
But let me ask you all this: Heinicke's won 2 in a row. Is he the official starter now, even when Wentz gets healthy?
I think so.
He should be. He should be.
The team really seems to rally around him.
The team loves this guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He puts his body on the.
They play with more fire when he's in there.
No, he's got guts, man. There's something about him. There's just something about him. I don't know what it is, but he's definitely good for especially this year. I mean, long term, obviously, don't think he's your guy long term. But for this year, like he's definitely better than fucking Wentz.
He is. I think Wentz is one of the saddest tales in the NFL we've seen in a while. Man, Wentz is a sad tale.
You
got to tell.
Wentz. He's just not. He doesn't seem like a leader. They don't rally around Wentz the same as they do with Taylor Henicke. Like when he gets in there, like he's Taylor Henicke. He seems like scrappy, but he still figures out a way to get it done. Wentz just looks like a deer in the headlights, man. Like he's just running for his life and spraining both his ankles at the same time.
I mean, he just looks like he's under he has so much anxiety playing quarterback. And he's trying to turn every play into a fucking 20-point touchdown. It's just too much. And then
he's playing for the touchdown every play.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And then one stat I saw, or a couple stats I saw. So obviously it's McLaurin's their best offensive weapon, and you want to get the ball in his hands, right? Mm-hmm. So when Wentz was starting, McLaurin accounted for 16.4% of the targets, 15.3% of its receptions, and 24.6% of their yards. And with 2 games with Henicke, McLaurin's accounted for 26% of the Commanders' targets, 25.6% of their receptions, and almost 40% of their yards. So he's getting the ball into their best players' hands, and I feel like that's what you got to do instead of trying to check it down to fucking Curtis Samuel all the time.
Exactly, and I mean they've won 2 in a row now. I mean they're
3 in a row.
3 in a row.
Well, the Bears game was Wentz.
I mean they're tied at 4-4 now with the 49ers as that last spot to get in the playoffs. Going on this, do y'all think there is a chance that we see 4 teams in the NFC East make the playoffs with the Commanders being the 7th seed? Is there a possibility?
Maybe, but I'm not buying it.
I don't think so. No, I mean 3, maybe, but I think the Giants are fakers. They're not. I mean, they're really.
The Giants are going to get in and probably lose in the first round. I'm hoping not, but it could be.
You think they're going to carry this on and get in? I mean,
well, their schedule allows them to.
Well, that's the whole NFC East schedule. Is the Eagles. If you look at that thing, it's ridiculous.
Oh, it's a cupcake schedule.
Yeah,
it's such an easy gauntlet.
Back to the Commanders. I mean, the 3-game win streak they have is against the Bears, Packers, and Colts, who are combined 9-14-1, and they won these games by 5, 2, and 1 points. So they're not really blowing them out. It's just he's the Colts game that one. It was a 1-score game. They got lucky as shit with that last play at the end going to McLaurin.
And like you said, Heinicke's got guts, man. He somehow pulls it out. I mean, we even saw flashes. A few years ago, he almost beat that Super Bowl winning Bucs team.
Yeah,
and I think the biggest thing, and that's the thing is you could see the team gets fired up with Taylor Henicke in there. That's their guy. That's McLaurin's guy. And with Wentz in there, they don't seem like they really care that much. So yeah, I 100% agree. I think Heinicke's starting for the remainder of the season, and you never know. Who knows? They could sneak in. I mean, they're 4-4 right now. The NFC East is trash.
Well, I mean,
wouldn't bet on it, but
so let's look at it right here. It's honestly the NFC playoffs is kind of you can kind of honestly like look at it and see what's going on, and this very well could be what it's like at the end of the season. So obviously, Eagles 1 seed, the Vikings are going to be the 2 seed. They'll probably win the NFC North. Seattle or the Niners will take the West. Whoever the fuck wins the NFC South, and then Cowboys, Giants, both are 6-2 right now, and then it's basically going to be between. I mean, if the Commies keep winning, maybe, but like you'd like to think it's going to be between Niners or Seahawks, whoever doesn't win the West. The Rams possibly, the Bucks, the Packers. I think the Packers found something Sunday night, even though they lost. I think they found something. They actually looked like they're running the ball well. So I mean, I don't see the Commies sustaining this, and I just think these other teams they have more talent. They're just better. And it's like Heinicke's great to watch, but it's like it's not like their defense has been crazy. Their offense hasn't been crazy either, and I just kind of be shocked if they actually.
No, I would be very shocked too if they do get in, but it is good to see them. Look like they're having fun out there playing football.
When is Chase Young coming back?
He's actually returning to practice this week.
Oh, is he?
Week?
So
okay.
That'll be big for them if he comes back in a big way.
He's been out for a while now.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
A damn long time. But yeah, beyond that, so I'm sure you're loving this Christian McCaffrey thing, huh? As a Niner fan.
Oh man, dude, y'all have no idea. Saved my Sunday. I was so happy.
Yeah, the first guy since LT to have a rushing, receiving, and passing touchdown in this game. I mean, I said this. We talked about this last week, but Hem and Buzzsaw were against me. But in my opinion, I
saw that clip, and I was like, wow, I wish I was there to really just let them know.
Let's hear what do you think about all this?
Dude, it's the perfect move because we want to play positionless football, all right? Like, that is our thing. Now, if you put him and Debo on the field at the same time together, like Debo didn't even play this week. Debo is out with a hamstring. So you put Debo on that field. Yeah, like you put Debo out there, and now we can have Christian in the backfield and then motion Debo back there and just switch them and just you got guys changing every which way. Then use check. He pretty much can play anywhere as well. Then you got Ayuk is honestly a stud. Yeah, Juszczyk was out too. Ayuk is a stud.
Yeah,
like he's coming on, and then Kittle. Like I love it. I love our offense right now. I think
Williams back now too. I mean, the O-line's looking like it's playing great. Bosa's back.
Elijah Mitchell comes back after our bye week. Our whole team, like after our bye week, we get Armstead back. We get there's a list of all the players coming back. Let me see this. But it's like
y'all a few guys out hurt.
Oh yeah, because we're missing our 2 defensive tackles right now with Kinlaw, Armstead. They've been out for the past few weeks. Aziz Al-Shayer, one of our linebackers, he's a stud. He's coming back. The only way I won't get back Emmanuel Mosley, one of our starting corners. He's out for the year. He tore his ACL. So that's been tough.
Is Jason Verrett healthy?
Yeah, he got activated this past week and said they're easing him back.
Did he play well?
He didn't play. He didn't play this week.
Oh, he didn't play?
He was active, but he didn't play now.
Okay.
They're kind of easing him back.
Is he in that 21-day window after you get taken?
Yeah, I think so.
That guy is so damn good when he plays. He can just never stay healthy.
He just can't.
ACL 4 times, I think.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But yeah, going back on the McCaffrey fit. So my point was the fact that McCaffrey, like you're saying, they want to play positionless football. That's the whole point to get McCaffrey. It's not to get him in there and just run downhill smash mouth football.
Exactly.
So get him in there, have him fucking throw a 35-yard touchdown pass, have him catch 9 passes, even though we haven't seen a Shanahan running back catch passes. But you get this guy in there, you're passing him the damn ball.
Yeah, Shanahan knows what to do.
And they agree. So let me ask you this, Toe. So they said that they believe that Derrick Henry would be a better fit in the 49ers offensive scheme. Do you agree with that or disagree with that?
No, because we run the outside zone, honestly. I mean, I like McCaffrey way. The amount you can do with him that adds into our offense trumps. I mean, Derrick Henry would be awesome. I wouldn't be mad at that either.
He would, no doubt about it.
I'd take CMC for sure.
I would too, because I like to with there's no predictability with CMC in there. You do not know what there's so many outcomes and options of what Shanahan can do with all these chess pieces, is what I like to say. And if you had Henry in there, like you know what's coming when Henry's in there more times than not.
Henry's not making that catch in the corner of the end zone.
No, he's not throwing that 35-yard pass. Hell no.
Yeah,
and I think with a QB like Garoppolo, the more chess pieces you have, the more ways that D coordinators are going to stay up at night saying, okay, well, they could hit us here, they could hit us there, they could do that. It's going to make Garoppolo that much better. And obviously, I think Derrick Henry would make him way better too.
Yeah.
But I think this is a more effective way for the whole offense to operate.
I mean, definitely like seeing the ways that they did use him. I guess I wasn't expecting that out of the gate, but what Shanahan did with him was impressive. And it's even funnier that they did this against the Rams, the only other team that was in contention to get McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, he accounted for 10 first downs, and that's not including the 3 touchdowns he had. So he's just he's doing everything that they traded for.
Garoppolo, to me, like he looked the most comfortable I'd seen him look all season. And I think that really just comes from him having that dump off, like that comfort. He knows that like if he gets in trouble, he can just dump it off to McCaffrey. Because like how many times that game did McCaffrey just catch a little 3-yard pass and turn it into 10 yards? You know, and like
he had 8 catches on 9 targets.
Yeah, and so like Jimmy G knew it just looked like it calmed him down, because my biggest thing with Jimmy is he always looks like he's like antsy in the pocket, like he's jumpy. But that game he actually looked calm, and I think that was really to do with CMC.
I mean, he's never had a great pass-catching back, even a good pass-catching
back.
And Jimmy's the kind of quarterback that you want a badass receiving back in there. And since he's been there, because Elijah Mitchell's not a receiving back. Jeff Wilson, I wouldn't say
he's gone.
I mean, y'all? But since Jimmy's been there, have y'all?
We haven't had one, because
I haven't really had a guy yet. Because
we had Mostert, we had
Shanahan
Breida.
didn't really do that, but
Devin Coleman would probably be the best one, and Devin Coleman was.
Yeah. But it's just it's scary to think. And I said this last podcast too, but I believe that you could have Sam Ehlinger back there instead of Jimmy G with all this talent and personnel around. And I think the team would
be
still
fine.
Be just as fucking good.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, there's so many ways they can attack a defense. So many.
Well, then going back to what you said about him being the first guy since LT to get that trifecta, I mean, there's only been 3 players that do it all time. It's him, LT, and Walter Payton.
In his first real game with the Niners, he does it.
I know, that was just insane. That pass he threw was beautiful.
It was nice too.
It was a beautiful pass. Yeah.
I think I saw a stat that said that ball traveled over 25 air yards, and since Shanahan's been there, there's only been 3 guys to throw a touchdown pass of over 25 air yards. It's McCaffrey, Mohamed Sanu, and CJ Beathard. It's not
Jimmy
even
hasn't?
Jimmy hasn't.
Yeah, Jimmy doesn't throw deep. Last year, he threw the ball deep, over 30 yards, I think, 5 times in the whole season.
God bless.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That just goes to show, that's wild.
That play that CMC threw that pass on, we ran that same play in the NFC Championship with Debo, and he threw a touchdown pass on against the Rams last year. But CMC's pass was a lot better.
So let me ask you all this. So your answer might be a little biased. But are the Niners, with CMC in the fold, you're getting all your boys back, are y'all the favorites out of the NFC?
I mean, I think you got to put it on the Eagles just out of respect for what they've done. But I mean, they look really good, even if their schedule's easy. But
yeah, I would say y'all are. If it's playoff time and it's Niners versus Eagles, I'm picking the Niners.
I'm taking Niners.
I'm taking the money line. I'm taking them to win that game.
Yeah, I think so too. But I have seen after seeing the Niners lose, losing to Denver, losing to the Bears. So I try and not get too. But those losses were outliers, I think, honestly.
Especially the Bears one. That game was
it was in a monsoon. Yeah. And then
that was a Lance playing too.
The Denver one, that was Jimmy's first week there. We only put up 11 points. We lost 12-11. It was brutal. Jimmy
plays much better in the playoffs in the regular season too. You got to give him that. So
I want to say they're the favorites, but I respect the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, as of right now,
I put them up.
I think as of right now, the NFC, I think it's it's really a 3-man race for the favorite to get out of there, and it's Eagles, Niners. Now it's looking especially their defense keeps playing the way it is, and they get guys back. As much as I hate to say it,
and
the fucking
boys,
Cowboys.
And the Cowboys, baby.
As much as I fucking hate that.
I mean, those are you know what's fucking wild too is preseason. You'd swap those three for the Packers, Rams, and Bucks.
Yep.
And now it's like, are any of those teams going to get in the playoffs? Like it's fuck. This is a crazy season. But yeah, that's looking scary right there with CMC in there.
I mean, I got a futures bet on Niners to win the NFC, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, make yourself some money, huh?
Yeah.
Not bad. All right.
They had great odds before the season started. We talked about that.
Yeah,
We
liked those bets.
I had to take it. I took that, and I took Sauce Gardner to win Rookie of the Year.
Oh, really?
Too.
Yeah.
What odds did you get that at?
Plus 1,000. Yeah.
That's
there you
great.
go. Well, you may make yourself a little bit of moolah, huh?
Yeah, I think he's the favorite right now. Well, defensive Rookie of the Year, but yeah. I think he's the favorite.
Are you on Cole's book?
Yeah.
He is, but he hasn't been betting too much. Come back home, Toe. Come back
All
home.
right, I got to.
Blackjack ain't going nowhere, baby.
Did you place those bets? Did you place those bets on Cole's book?
No, not on Cole's.
Oh, that's disappointing. You would have to pay him out a little bit.
Yeah, Walmart have to pay out Besney for his future Eagle bet, or maybe not. But yeah. Anyways, so going back to the NFC South, Bucks, Saints, Falcons, Panthers. I mean, this division right now is a hot just pile of dog shit. I mean, it's a steamer. I mean, this division's this might be one of the worst divisions in the past 3, 4, 5 years. I think the winner, there's a good shot, is going to be 8-9, probably the losing record, hosting a home playoff game, which as sad as that is, it's kind of what it's looking like right now. But in y'all's opinion, who's coming out of the NFC South? Who's winning it?
As bad as I'm still taking the Bucks. They
right,
like
same man.
I still like
the Falcons.
I just can't get on board.
Falcons
have
been competitive, man.
I just can't get on board with the Falcons, man. I just still.
They've been throwing the ball like
They're
8 times a game.
Man. They're scrappy.
4-4.
I can't get behind fucking Marcus Mariota, man. Like they're looking good. They're scrappy. They're as good as that team possibly can be, but I can't see it. Like.
To be honest, I don't think the Saints are getting talked about enough to win this division. I think the Panthers, they're the one team I'm going to throw them out of the equation. But the Saints' defense has not been playing good. And
they did last week.
But
they
did play good last week.
I played Derek Carr in fantasy. That was the biggest mistake of my freaking life.
But going into this season, in the whole division, that was probably the strongest group of offense, defense of any team in the division was the Saints defense.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like power ranked, top 3 preseason all across the board, anyone you ask. And if this defense can turn it on and they can, do their thing with Kamara, Andy Dalton,
Michael Thomas can come down.
Thomas can come down. Olave's looking like a stud. I mean, I really think the Saints could pull out win this division. And right now, if you bet them, you can get them at plus 550 to win the division.
I would bet that.
They're one game down right now. I mean, they got the Bucks at minus 135, they got Atlanta at plus 210, and then they got the Saints at plus 550.
I guess they're just playing too inconsistent for my liking. Like I don't know which Saints is going to show up.
The Bucks and Falcons.
Yes, but the
Bucks
not
playing consistent.
I know, but the Bucks still have Brady.
Yeah, I mean, if Kamara can play like that.
At what point though with the Bucks are we cashing out and saying that this is not going to happen?
I really don't know.
Do they have to be like 3 games under 500?
They might
They're already
be.
2.
I'm still gonna want to see a couple more shitty games from Brady before I officially throw in the towel.
I mean, they have been really, really bad.
What was more scary is that their defense was their strong point all year, and then they've been playing bad last couple weeks. In that second half against the Ravens,
Did you see
the Ravens were getting everything they wanted.
Linderbaum just mauling White.
Oh
the whole game.
Yeah,
the whole game.
The Ravens' running offense was getting anything they wanted, especially against the Bucks. Run defense has been like top 3 the last however many years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, my thing I'm wondering is it almost, do you think, to where the defense is kind of just giving up because this offense is so bad and the defense is out there so often?
I mean,
I'm gonna attribute it. I'm sorry, Toe. I'm gonna attribute it to a short week. Is what I'm going to attribute it to, and it's still Lamar Jackson on a short week. If they're doing what they want, that is just harder to guard, harder to play. But I really don't know, man. I'm still gonna pick the Bucks, but can definitely keep going south.
I mean, if I hear what you're saying with if your offense just keeps going out there, not producing, the defense, you do get worn down. Like you're kind of just getting like a lull where you're like, man, you're tired. just kind of over it. And I mean, yes, you're going to play, but eventually you're just going to start giving up plays, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm banking on the fact that last week was a short week and that it won't stick. But I mean, maybe now the divorce is finalized. Maybe Brady will have less going on in his head. But
yeah,
I mean, Brady does not look good.
he's just missing throws.
He's also making questionable throws.
He just had to run the ball out of the.
But then again, we've
he's
talked
missing
about this,
them.
but it all stems from that offensive line and them averaging 3 yards a carry. On pace to be one of the worst running attacks in NFL history. I mean, if you have a 45-year-old Tom Brady and you are averaging 3 yards a carry, I said this last week, but you're not going to win shit.
No.
It just ain't going to happen. If that O-line can't figure it out and start producing some holes, then good luck, Charlie. You know.
I mean, I saw this stat where it was like how to stop Tom Brady is you pressure him up the middle. And, you know, with not having a center or his 2 guards all season, like, he's getting pressured up the middle all the time, you know, and that's just been his kryptonite.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is it's like we're so used to Brady being so good, we forget that he's fucking 45. Like, and it's just like,
and we still have these expectations, like, you got to get it done. In the reality, he's a fucking just old dad.
I mean, he's
45.
he's defied all logic for as long as we can remember. And especially more so the past 5 years. And I mean, it might, the chickens might be coming home to roost.
The horses have left the barn.
All time.
I'm not saying the horses left the barn yet.
they're getting pissed though.
They're in the starting blocks.
Yeah, they're in the stable. They're kicking up dirt. They're puking up hay. They're getting pissed. Yeah, I mean it's a very bad division.
Yeah.
But going into the AFC side of things, I mean, I feel like this is a simple question, but are the Titans running away with their division? I mean, can any team really even make a run at them to win this division?
I just don't think so. I mean, they're 5-2 right now. The Colts are in second at 3-4-1 with fucking Ehlinger as a quarterback.
Can we put some respect to a Mike Vrabel, man?
Oh, Vrabel's a stud, man.
Year in and year out, the Titans get doubted, and they don't have really much talent on the team, honestly.
No.
And I know Derrick Henry is obviously a huge integral part of that. But Mike Vrabel, man, I think he is at this point put himself in that tier 1 echelon of head coaches.
Absolutely. He gets the most out of his guys.
He does. And he never has the most talent around him, but he makes it happen and he produces winning seasons year in and year out. And the Titans, they're gonna host a home playoff game most likely with really not much talent at all on this team.
Yeah.
What's funny is they seem
I
to
like
this. You got it.
I would say I like the Jags. I mean, if Calvin Ridley could play this year, I'd like the Jags because I think the Jags are actually good. They just need a number 1 wide receiver. Like they need someone that's scary on a deep threat or that can pressure defensive backs. You know, I mean, Christian Kirk is good. Zay Jones is a good figure 4.
He had a 1 though.
Yeah, but he's not a 1. And if Calvin Ridley could play this year, I would actually think. I mean, they're pretty behind. What, they have 2 wins, right?
So
they're pretty behind.
2-5.
Yeah.
2-5.
2-6, I think.
Oh,
I don't know if they've had a bye yet.
2-6. Oof. Well,
yeah, I mean, kind of mathematically,
probably, they're probably out of it. But I do like the Jags as a team, though. Next year, then I guess. I like their defensive front is actually pretty nice. Like Devin Lloyd is balling.
He's a stud.
And then Josh Allen on the other side, that's pretty nice. And they got they traded for Arden Key from us last year, and he's nothing for crazy, but he had 8 sacks for us last year. And he had 1 this week.
Etienne's looking like the truth too.
ETN, yeah.
I think they did themselves. I think they helped themselves out getting rid of James Robinson. I mean, that guy's been lighting it the fuck up.
Hell yeah.
He was the only reason they were in that game Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jags just kind of reminded us again that they're still the Jags. But, I mean, and Lawrence just at what point do we, does the bus come? We're going to talk about that later, aren't we? About Trevor?
Yeah.
Before we start, I mean, because he has not looked good.
No, he has not looked, Yeah.
Beyond that,
it's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah. So the Jets are 5-3 now. Kind of playing some of the best football in recent memory for New York. I think fans around there are pretty happy with their record and all that. Saleh is looking like he's got this job secured for the meantime. Their one liability, though, is at the quarterback position. Zach Wilson, I think we could all say, is holding them back. Now, let me ask you all this. This is very bold. Is Zach Wilson out of the NFL in 3 years?
I mean, I feel like he's
3 years from now? Or 3 years from when he started?
3 years from now. Is he out of the – no?
I mean, I got to think he's going to be a backup.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's a little far-fetched.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, he's such a high draft. Like, someone will give him shots for at least 5 years, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at Sam Darnold.
Yeah. But no, I have a interesting take here on Zach Wilson. So obviously Zach Wilson is holding the Jets back right now, and coming out of college, his comp was Johnny Manziel. And there was an NFC East scout that said, and I quote, pre-draft, Johnny Manziel comp without the drugs. Wilson is fun to watch, but is he a one-year flash in the pan? He's a backyard baller who is fun to watch. And then we go beyond that. I know he's not Johnny Manziel with the drinking and partying and the hookers or whatever, but I pulled up some stats here. So I'm going to compare to y'all Johnny Manziel's second-year statistics to Zach Wilson's statistics from this year currently. So Johnny Manziel, his sophomore year of the NFL, he had a 57.8 completion percentage, ranking 33rd in the NFL. Zach Wilson right now has a 54.9 completion percentage, ranking 34th. Johnny Manziel had a 79.4 passer rating, ranking 31st in the league. Zach Wilson has a 71 passer rating, ranking 34th. Johnny had a 58.6 QBR, ranking 20th in the league. Zach has a 41.7, ranking 24th. In 9 games, Johnny had 7 TDs, 5 picks. In 5 games, Zach has 3 TDs, 5 picks. Zach Wilson also leads the league in not a good stat in the least amount of accurate balls thrown at 22.7 of his passes deemed not catchable, not accurate passes. I think Zach Wilson is, like this scout said, is literally Johnny Manziel minus the drugs. I mean, the talent's there, and I think we all got a little bit of fool's gold coming into that draft to where, you see this guy making big plays, but he's playing at BYU. He did it for 1 year. I just don't think he has it. And we see week in and week out, like, he's not making the right reads. He's not hitting his check downs. He's trying to play backyard football. I mean, he had 3 picks against the Pats. One of them was one of the worst picks I've ever seen in my life, probably. I think that Zach Wilson is totally holding this team back, and he's not gonna be the starter for much longer. If I had to give my take on it.
I mean, they're going to have to keep rolling with them because of where they took him, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, I actually, going into that draft, I watched a good amount of Zach Wilson film, because that's when the Niners moved up to 3, so I was trying to figure out what quarterback they were going to take and who I liked. And I said from then, I've never been a fan of Zach Wilson coming out just because at BYU, if you watch the tape, he never had a pass rush. He would literally drop back and just sit in the pocket for 10 seconds, 20 seconds. It felt like forever. He never dealt with pressure. He would literally just sit back there, roll a little to the right, roll a little to the left. And then in the NFL, you have pressure every down. You have to learn to play with that in your face every snap. And I don't think he dealt with that ever in college, and it's really showing,
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I mean, this Jets roster is built to win right now. I mean, you look at
they got guys.
The defense is playing at an extremely high level. They got weapons on the outside. Breece Hall is out now, but the O-line is playing above average now at this point too. This team is built to win with that defense, and he's just holding them back. Honestly, I think he's a talented player. I think his football IQ is extremely low. And I think he's one of these Kyler Murray guys that probably doesn't watch much tape. And he's out slaying mills. I'll give him that. But if I'm a Jets fan, I would not want him leading my franchise.
Well, yeah. I mean, in the 5 games he started this year, he has about 1,050 yards, which comes down to about 210 per game, a 54.9 completion percentage, and 3 touchdowns and 5 picks. And that's not including how bad his advanced stats look.
Yeah. 5 games.
Yeah, in 5 games. Just not
That's
great.
tough.
I mean, especially when he goes up against, a Bill Belichick type of guy. Belichick reminds you of what Zach Wilson really is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not BYU. This is the big boys up here.
Yeah. Not great.
I'm not investing in Zach Wilson stock. If you could, I'm not investing in it.
This is a big buy low spot if you are.
If it is, yeah, it is buy low. All right.
We'll set up
Next up.
now.
Next up. Minnesota Vikings are 6-1 right now, leading the NFC North by a pretty wide margin. Looking like they're probably going to wrap up this division and host a home playoff game. But are they true Super Bowl contenders out of the NFC?
No.
No?
No.
It's just, I think this stat says it alone. The teams that they've beat in their 6 wins have a combined 18-29 record. So they're not beating good teams by any means. The one time they did go up against a good team, and the Eagles, they got their asses kicked.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I can't believe in them. I mean, I'm glad they got T.J. Hawkinson. I don't think he all of a sudden makes them Super Bowl contenders. I mean, they're 12th in points scored and 13th in points against. So it's like they're not really good on offense or defense. They're just solid. And I mean, their offense definitely can be dynamic, but then Kirk Cousins.
They're Kirk Cousins
in prime time. It's Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, we've seen the story play out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good, but they're not necessarily great at anything. And if you have a Super Bowl caliber team, you have to be great at something. You have to have a great pass rush, you have to have a great running game, a great O-line, a great quarterback. You have to have something that you're great at. And yeah, they're just not great at anything. And like you said, I mean, all of their wins have been 1-score games. And in the past 3 games, too, they've led double digits in the second half and ended up barely squeaking out those games. I mean, a good team puts those teams away, and they're just playing in survival mode in these games against inferior opponents. I think that 6-1 record is a lot of fool's gold, and they're not nearly as good as their record shows.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If the Niners had to play them in the playoffs, I wouldn't be scared. I'd feel really good about
they
it.
kicked the shit out of the Vikings.
Yeah.
I would take the Niners, and I don't even think that's really a tough
What would that
there.
spread be right now? Wild card weekend, Vikings, Niners.
Niners at home, or the Vikings are hosting it?
Vikings are home.
I think it would be -3 Niners.
I'm debating if I want to give the Niners the hook or not. I think I'd probably go Niners minus 3.5. I'll give them the hook. I'll give them more than the field goal.
The hook.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd take it.
Yeah, and I'm going to take the Niners in that too.
Yeah, I would. I mean,
it's just the thing too. Like we've seen this story with Kirk Cousins play.
Yeah.
But hey, Kirk might go get himself another bag. I mean, Kirk is the ultimate finesser in the league at getting that bag while playing mid-level quarterback.
We signed that extension last year, which is just for even more money.
Yeah, and I think it was a 2 or 3 year extension.
It was like 3 years and like $90 million or
so
something.
he's his own agent, right?
Playoff game this year. Is he?
Yeah, he negotiates all his contracts.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that's why all his stuff is fully guaranteed.
I mean, because he got those 2 years with the franchise tag, racking up that money, then got all this money he's had with the Vikings. I mean, just an absolute genius.
He's doing it right. He's definitely finessing.
Doing just good enough to make like $30 million.
Yeah. He's just teetering right there to where he's not great, but he's not shit. That he'll take you to get that bag.
Well, to where the Vikings are like, well, if we lose him, then we're truly fucked. And it's like, well, I guess we got to keep him.
All right, would y'all rather have Jimmy G or Kirk Cousins?
I'd rather have Kirk.
Yeah.
But Jimmy's got a little bit of clutch factor.
Jimmy does. Kirk, yeah, that is the main argument. Is Kirk is obviously not clutch whatsoever, and Jimmy's been clutch.
Yeah, he's had. But my also thing is, I think Jimmy has Shanahan calling his plays, so
yes,
that makes him clutch sometimes. It
depends who's calling plays. I really think it does.
Yeah.
And Kevin O'Connell's not doing a bad job. I mean, they've actually they're running the ball, I think, at the second highest clip in the league now. So I think that's definitely helping Kirk. So, but yeah, I mean, Kirk's Kirk, man. At least Jimmy G's got
Kirk.
Jimmy G's got a clutch factor to him.
All right, then here's the second one for y'all. Derek Carr or Kirk Cousins?
Carr. I'm gonna take Carr over Kirk.
That's what I would think, but I don't know. Like Carr looked
shitty,
Carr has not looked good this year. I really do not know what's happening with the Raiders right now. I don't know if it's Josh McDaniels or if it's Derek Carr.
It makes no sense.
it doesn't make any sense. I mean, but the only thing, the Saints game, they got killed. But, I mean, in all the other losses, they've been in the game right there, and then they blow it last second or they don't hold on.
And they've had a tough schedule.
Yeah.
They have. Derek Carr's just –
yeah, because they play the NFC
sometimes
West
just
and they're
yeah.
Yeah.
And you this has been happening the entire podcast. I'm going to talk, and
sorry.
Too behind. But it's like sometimes like Derek Carr does what he did this weekend and just like throws up a little fart that you're just not expecting.
God, y'all, I played Carr over Dak this week. Biggest mistake of my life.
I guess
what did Carr do fantasy wise? Like
2.99 points, bro. And Dak was on my bench with 31. You could not experience the rage I was having all day Sunday.
Did you lose because of it?
Yes, I lost by 14.
Oh damn! So you would have won if you threw.
I would have won, and later I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking like the Cowboys were just gonna run the ball down the Bears' throat and like not have to throw it all because like that they can do that, and that's what they did the second half. I mean, they didn't really like he had like 30 points at halftime and then didn't really have any more, but I didn't think Carr would be so shit.
Yeah.
I went against Derek Carr and Devontae this week, so I was
what did Devontae put up this week?
He had
1
3
point.
yards.
I think he put up 1 point.
He had 1 catch for 3 yards?
Yep.
3 yards.
Oh, my God. How does that happen?
I don't know.
But I was thankful for it.
Throw him some screens. Just get him the
Figure it
fucking
out.
ball in his hands.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in going back to Kirk, though, at least with Kirk, like, you know what you're getting. You know if they're going up against the Broncos, a really good defense, he's probably not going to do that good.
But the argument is, though, if you're in a playoff game or a Sunday night football game,
I'm taking Derek Carr.
And you need a drive. Like, I think Derek Carr can get you that. Kirk's not going to get you that.
No.
Yes, regular season time, week 7 at noon, Kirk's your guy, no doubt.
Prime time Kirk, and then there's regular games Kirk, right? So we got to define it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a completely different guy. And we really haven't seen Derek Carr in, like, those playoff moments, I guess. But we've seen him in primetime. He's not bad in primetime, but Kirk is just like an anomaly. Like, it's like Kirk, noon slate, Kirk, Thursday, Sunday, or Monday Night Football. Just shit.
I wouldn't want
the record shows it.
Yeah, anyone that thinks the Vikings are actually, fuck, man. Though, if there's a year though that Kirk Cousins is gonna make the Super Bowl, this might be the fucking year.
This one, yeah.
It would be this year.
Yeah, they're gonna go on a slide. I can already see.
I will say, back on the Raiders, their O-line is pretty shit. I will say that. So that's not helping.
Their line is shit.
Yeah.
But they have gotten this running game going, which you would think would help out the whole offense, and it just really hasn't.
Yeah. I think they only gave Josh Jacobs like 10 carries yesterday, which didn't make much sense to me. But
yeah, they were down most of the game though.
Yeah, that's true.
But the Vikings, the fact that all of their wins have been 1-score games. That's the ultimate stat that you're due for aggression. That's pure luck that when you're 6-1 and you're beating inferior opponents and you're winning by 1-score games. Like, this team is due for major aggression. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, the Cardinals aren't that good, and they just barely beat the Cardinals, right?
Yeah.
Well, they don't fucking muff that punt. They probably lose that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, beyond that, T-Law looked good at first few weeks of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of been hitting a slide recently. What are we thinking about his play and kind of just the Jaguars as a whole?
I just hope they keep feeding ETN. That's all I care about.
Yeah, me too.
Do you got ETN in fantasy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does too.
It's great to have.
It's fantastic to watch. Man's a freaking beast.
No, I was looking at ETN, like, for advanced running back stats. He has some very good stats.
Bro, he's averaging like 7 yards a carry.
Well, he gets so many chunk plays.
It's crazy. Like, the past 3 weeks, he had like 10 carries, 14 carries, and it was like 8 yards a carry each game. Right, and I think the one was.
Wait, there was like 3 or 4 games in a row where he's had like a 40-yard run. Like, he's a fucking beast.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
But going back to Lawrence.
Yeah.
Something's gonna have to change because I think most people kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt with the Urban Meyer situation last year. And we're expecting in the first couple weeks he looked pretty damn good. He looked like, hey, maybe we turned a corner here.
He's been missing some throws.
Yeah, I mean the last 5 weeks they've had a 5-game losing streak where he's averaging 214 yards a game with 4 passing touchdowns and 5 picks. You guys gotten a couple QB sneak rushing touchdowns, but I mean anyone can do that.
Let me ask this: for Trevor Lawrence, I know we're not anywhere near like he's a bust, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, we're getting close.
At what point though are we actually considering him as a colossal bust? Because we got to remember too, like this guy coming out of college, like this is like the best prospect since the Mannings and the Lucks and these guys that are like the unanimous like 1A like top dog, generational talent. When does it get to a point to where like, okay, this guy might seriously be a bust in this league?
I'd say after year
three. Are we there right now?
Nah, I got to give him at least till after year 3. After year 3 he's still like he is right now, then I'd have to call it. But
I think there is enough talent on this offense though, and with Dougie P in there to where like he should be playing better than this, right?
Yeah. He should for where he was drafted, he should be playing better. But I mean, Peyton Manning struggled in the beginning of his career. Josh Allen took 3 years,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to get mad at you, but everyone always points like, oh, it's a Peyton Manning like cop out. Like he stuck his first 2 years. Like I think he was like the one outlier where it's like actually been true. Like even Josh Allen was like somewhat shaky his first couple of years, but like you still saw it there. They still made the playoffs in a second year.
I don't know but with Lawrence though, we see flashes of it.
The last couple weeks, man, he's missing some bad.
But it's not like we have not seen flashes.
Yeah,
we've seen the flashes of the greatness that he is capable of. But the question is can he consistently put that together on a week-to-week basis?
I'm gonna have to see him. I'm gonna have to see him like really turn a corner here because I'm leaning definitely more towards bust. Right now.
I'm gonna need to see like a 2-minute drive, winning comeback at the end of the game, something like that.
Has their O-line been?
I could not answer that question.
I really don't know. I mean, they're good enough for Etienne to have 7 yards of carry.
I mean, I can't be absurdly bad. Like, their running offense has been good, and it's not like Lawrence is getting sacked all the time. But, I mean, I'm going to need to see, like, 3-4 games in a row to where, he's looking like he did in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's like he can't be missing some of the throws that he's missing. Like, for someone that was drafted number 1 overall, being crowned as the next fucking Peyton Manning, next Andrew Luck, like, you can't be missing some of these throws, especially in year 2.
Yeah, I mean, the O-line's been holding up. I mean, he's not really near the top in sacks, knockdowns, or hurry-ups. I mean, seems like the O-line's holding up pretty decently for him.
I mean, he's probably the second best quarterback in that draft, so.
Well,
that's not saying much.
That leads us to another question then. So, we're going to re-rank the 2021 NFL quarterbacks in a hypothetical draft of 5 players with 5 quarterbacks, okay? So let's just say it's a 5-man draft, or not a draft. Let's not even do a draft. Let's do
rank 5.
A power ranking, yeah. Okay. Based on what we've seen from when they've been drafted to now. It went in 2021. It went Trevor Lawrence, Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance. No, wait. Wilson.
Zach Wilson was the next one.
Zach Wilson, then Lance.
My bad. It went Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and then Mac Jones.
Okay.
Where are y'all ranking them now, today's NFL? We're at week 8 of the 2022 season. How are y'all re-ranking this? Or are you not re-ranking it? Are you keeping it the same?
I'm going to go before you, Toe.
All right, you got it.
And I'm going to go complete recency bias here. And I'm going to take Fields number 1.
Oh, you
oh my
after
God.
2 games.
After like 2 or 3 good games.
After 2 games.
He throws for like 150.
Oh my God.
He's had the best like 3-game stretch of like any of these guys in the last 2 years.
2-game stretch.
That was 3. Well, yeah, he looked
Pats
bad
and Cowboys.
in the
Before
Commanders
that,
game,
he didn't do shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going in complete recency bias, but it's like Wilson's never been good.
So so if you let's just say that
I got the number 1 pick in that draft.
Let's just say you're the Texans right now, and the Bears and Jags are both hitting you up. They're like, hey, we will give you Trevor Lawrence for a 7th. We'll give you Justin Fields for a 7th. You're taking the Fields trade?
I'm going to take the Fields trade right now.
Oh my God.
Right now.
Wow.
Right now.
That's bold.
And I'm
Talk
taking
about recency bias to
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to bet on the future at all.
For sure, and he's looked a lot better passing the ball the last 2 weeks, and they've started running the ball with him.
Okay, my thing, his passing has looked a little bit better, yes. Not anything crazy, but it's because the Bears, they completely changed their offense in that Patriots game. They started running the ball out with them. They started, just giving him a favorable offense because they weren't running the right offense for him this whole career.
Trying to make him be a pocket passer.
Yeah, and that's not who Justin Fields is. He's an athlete, man.
Yeah,
he's
you got to use your skill set.
He's listed as an athlete. But I think Lawrence still has to be number one, based on the flashes in the pan we've seen, and I don't know. I like Fields. At least if Fields isn't great throwing the ball, is he can at the very least he's dynamic running. How long does that last you though? If you have a below average passer that can kind of run, or not, he can run. I'll give him that. But a below average passer that can run.
He's been more accurate the last couple of weeks. At the very least, he's been more accurate, and that alone is good because you can definitely do things. At least it gives you another option.
Yeah,
but I'm just talking based on the strict upside of that Lawrence that we know that
Lawrence
possesses.
Building a franchise.
Yeah, you're building it.
You got to go Lawrence.
Let's say you're Texans.
Okay, I guess thinking about it that way, I guess I wasn't too dug in on the
you
Fields.
better hold on.
I wasn't too dug in
on your
it.
mountain.
I know.
Don't back down.
This is not a hill I'm willing to die on. Though.
Well, you already said it. You got to die on it. You already said
That's not true. I don't have to deal with everything I say.
No,
but,
you made the take.
But
you're gonna back in your corner now.
I didn't look into this too much. I don't have a shit ton of stats to back it up, and
I don't think any of us.
But
have stats for this. It's just eye test.
It's just the only reason, like I said, at least Fields gives you another option. If he's not looking great throwing the ball, at least he can run the ball, and there's still that threat.
What about Trey Lance?
So it's just
he's the biggest wild card.
I'd have
what he is.
I'd have Lance. I'd still have Lance.
Lance
third. I'd have him over Zach Wilson.
To be honest, Lance could go 1 or 5 or anywhere in between.
Yeah.
Let me do my full rankings.
All right, go.
All right. Doing that. So I'm gonna go Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Mac then Zach Wilson.
Ooh.
Because I just really think Zach Wilson's that bad.
Wait, so you went Fields, Lawrence,
Trey Lance,
Mac, and Zach?
Yeah. At least Mac's not gonna throw me out of a game. Like Zach Wilson has been throwing them out of games.
I have Zach. I would have Zach as my last as well. I think that with a quarterback, it's like if they don't get it, they don't get it.
Yeah.
And this guy I don't think this guy is a NFL quarterbacks. You have to be smart to be an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
You can't just go out there and just dick around and fucking chuck it up. It's not BYU. I even though the argument is too, Zach Wilson may have more talent than all these guys, but it's I don't think he's ever actually going to put it together.
He definitely has more talent than Mac Jones, but
Mac, at least he's not going to throw you out of a game. He's at least going to stay.
I think
Mac Jones is
Kirk Cousins.
Is terrible. No, he's worse.
I think he's worse than Kirk.
I think he's Kirk. Okay, we got to remember too, Mac. The first few weeks of this season, that offensive line did not hold up to his shit, and Mac came back early from his injury. But if we did this ranking last year, Mac would probably be 1 for a lot of people.
I thought he was overrated.
Let's not forget
last
that.
Year.
I don't know if he'd be 1 because he never wowed anyone last year.
That's what everyone
he was
just
good and
not
turning the ball over and getting him wins.
There were talks last year at one point, people saying the Pats can make the Super Bowl. I know Mac Jones is not the guy that's going to lead a team, but I think Mac could be a very good system quarterback to where if you have the pieces around him, the team can win games. Like I said, like a Kirk Cousins. He's not gonna wow you. With
I'd take Jimmy over Mac Jones. That's how I know he's ass.
Now this is just for fun. Would you take Daniel Jones or Mac Jones?
Daniel.
Oh, God,
for sure.
Jones boy.
I'm biased, but I'm taking Danny Dimes.
Danny
Dimes can run the ball too,
Bro,
baby.
They've been winning games.
I would probably take Danny over him as well.
I saw this thing. It was everyone's talking
but that's
about
not saying much.
Packers don't have receivers, man. Everyone's talking about how the Packers don't have receivers, but the Packers, the Packers' best 2 wide receivers would be Allen Lazard would be huge for the Giants right now. Romeo Dobbs would be huge on the Giants right now. No one's thought they're
Whoever
winning
Richie
games.
James is.
You know?
Fucking Richie James.
Well, no, so what we've talked about too for a while now, because Brophy's a Giants fan over here.
Oh, okay.
But what's gonna happen? What we know is gonna happen is that the Giants are gonna get in the playoffs this year, right?
Oh, he's gonna get extended, I think.
And they're gonna sign Daniel Jones to a fat contract. They're gonna extend Saquon to a 4-year deal.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be trapped in hell with those two guys for the foreseeable future. And I'd love it as a Cowboy fan.
Like,
The
I don't.
Giants are gonna be so.
What do you
fucked
do
with
though?
these
You
two
know?
guys.
I don't think.
You
but
have
the thing
to.
is,
You
If
kinda
y'all
have
go 11-6 and make the playoffs, and then you're like, this is Dable's guy. And if Dable goes into these offseason meetings backing Daniel Jones, you are 100% signing Daniel Jones.
I just think
unless Dable goes out on a limb and says, you know what, we went 11-6 or whatever, 10-7, made the playoffs. But
it's not him, it's Shane.
I don't think he's our guy. But I don't think he's going to say that if they actually do that.
I mean, if we keep winning games and he's not turning the ball over, I'd be okay signing him to a $25 million per year contract. Like, I'd be very okay with that.
You're going to be giving him 30.
Yeah, there's
might be
no
close to
way.
30.
He's young, man.
It
He's
might
not
be
getting
close. It might be closer to 30.
Old
but-
Phillip Rivers got 25 a few years ago when he was about 45.
I know it might be closer to 30, but as long as
jizzing
it's,
out 18 kids.
I mean, if it's
Daniel
not,
Jones is young and hungry. Daniel Jones is getting 30 mil 5 years.
I mean, probably more.
it depends.
honestly.
It depends.
He might get more. Yeah,
It depends
The
how
great
it's
QBs
constructed,
go
but it's
now.
like, if he starts commanding like 35 plus or like even like 32 plus, like I don't think the Giants are going to give him that. They might just take their chances and trade picks and try and get someone in the draft.
I mean, 32.
You think they're
million,
gonna
where
draft?
would
You
that
think
rank
they
right
try
now?
to trade for? I mean, I don't even know what quarterback.
Where would 32 million a year rank right now among all quarterbacks in the league?
I'd have to look.
Look
It's
that.
low. It's low.
It's not
that
even that
It'd be
high. 'cause,
middle-
I mean,
it'd be middle
QBs
of
are
the pack.
QBs are getting paid an astronomical number now. And
Yeah.
like we said, if Danny Dimes leads them to the playoffs with who is his number one, Richie James.
Yeah, right.
Like,
I
mean
fucking
that's
hate
even
that
more of the
guy.
case
It's
to where
if
if you're in that front office, we got to pay this guy. We got to go get him an actual receiver. Oh, and I'd love that because Daniel Jones is not the guy. I know Daniel Jones.
I mean, he's not gonna.
I mean,
He's not gonna run the division with him there. You know, you're not scared of them with him behind the playing quarterback.
I know, but if we keep winning games, he's not turning the ball over. Like,
But also you're winning games on a really easy schedule.
to be fair,
too.
he's looked way
Yeah,
different this year
I'm
than he
talk-
ever has.
He looks better this year than he ever has.
By
But
far,
I'm
not even
talk-
close.
But I'm talking that he's the guy that you are going to be married to and cap strapped to. And I know you signed him to that 5-year deal, 2-3 years down the road.
He'd be around like
Ooh, you're going to get out of that one.
he'd be around like 8 to 12 if that happened.
And if y'all make the playoffs and he's putting up decent numbers, which he is, that's what he's going to get.
I know, but I think is now I don't hate it as much as I used. As long as the contract allows us to build things around him and to still construct a roster around him, I don't hate it as much.
Well, and then Saquon's a whole different argument as well.
The thing is, I don't know what they're gonna do because I don't know if they're
signing
gonna try and go.
I think they are too.
But I don't know. But I don't know what Shane. Because we were trying to trade him this offseason. Like,
But that's because
But-
y'all didn't know what he was going to do this year. I think they were scared,
No.
you know.
but if you ask me, I think that Shane's gonna try and offer him the fucking. No, what the hell?
Tag.
They're gonna try and tag him. If they don't, I think they might let him go. Because I really don't think, based off of what Shane's come from with the Bills system and being the Bills assistant GM now since that thing got up and running like 4 or 5 years ago, I just don't see them signing a running back to a long-term
How much
contract.
say does y'all's owner have in y'all's personnel moves?
Not a lot. He basically handed the keys over to Shane and Dable.
Because I almost wonder if the owner is like,
Because Mara,
okay, we drafted this guy 2nd overall. He's putting up all-pro numbers. He looks like the best running back in the league. Pay him what he wants. I wonder if that's a talk that'll happen at some point in Giants offseason.
I don't know. I mean, Mara admittedly is not a know-it-all football guy. Like he never has been. And
But if there is a player you'd fall in love with, it would 100% be Saquon.
yes, but I also at the same time like.
I mean, who else is selling y'all? Who's selling y'all's jerseys big on Saquon?
Xavier McKinney, Thibodeau.
Exactly.
Thibodeau,
Exactly.
Yeah, I bet Thibodeau.
Exactly. But no, Saquon he's the face of that team.
Big mark.
Y'all, yeah. In New York, you need a superstar.
But
You need a stud.
everything goes to show, and I think Shane's gonna know this, is that every second running back contract that is a massive one, it just does not work out. It never has.
Especially
Never has.
This would be a
mean,
second
you're
contract,
been-
right?
Yeah, this will be a second contract. He's on his 5th-year option right now.
Yeah.
So I'd be okay with a tag. I'd be very okay with a tag.
Yeah, well,
But
obviously.
I just don't know if I could honestly see him sitting out for an entire year because he's already made good money being the number 2 pick, and he's making good money with his 5th-year option this year, and he's in New York on all these endorsements.
I mean, yeah, Saquon is a prime candidate to pull Le'Veon Bell 2.0.
Oh,
and sit
100%.
out. I mean, the guy's so damn injury prone.
Yeah.
If
Why
I'm
would
Saquon,
why would he risk it for a year when he knows
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
good?
if I'm Saquon, I'm sitting out from a tag.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could definitely see a very, very long contract negotiation.
'Cause how- is he 26?
Getting it done. 25, 26, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, still young. But yeah, so my rank I had.
Getting back off the Giants.
I would have T-Law at 1. I would have Fields at 2. I would have Mac Jones at 3. I would have Lance at 4 and Zach Wilson in numero 5.
Mac
I know
Jones.
you're not. I know you've never really been a big Lance fan, even though he hasn't been playing a lot.
I've never been a big Lance fan, honestly, even before his injury and all that.
I remember when his injury happened, you were like,
truth.
I think you said, well, he's gonna be a
The truth.
backup for the rest of his career.
And I'm sorry to say it, Toe, but I really do think that Trey Lance might be a backup, even though he's only played like 2 games.
Have y'all watched him play? He had the highest QBR out of any of the QBs in that draft. He's good if you actually.
In college, he played at what school did he play at?
North Dakota
North Dakota
State or
State.
South Dakota State.
I mean, okay, you know what my reason was for not being high on Trey Lance. Literally, the only thing I watched for Trey Lance was I went and I watched his North Dakota State highlights, and every highlight he had was either him hitting a kid running a fucking vertical route wide open, or B, him running a QB power and stiff arming
And just
like
chunking kids to the
19-year-old
ground.
linebackers that weigh 160 pounds. I was like, this was not going to work in the NFL. Like right then after that, I was like, okay, this would be dope if this was a high school player. but he was like, he's played North Dakota State and like.
I mean, they're the powerhouse. There's some competition.
I mean, yeah, in their respective like conference they are, but who are they? What teams are they playing against?
I mean, they're in
Sam
the fucking
Houston.
FCS.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Such a great squad.
Sam Houston State,
James Madison.
Corpus Christi, A&M.
No, they're Division 3. They don't have.
Damn near the same thing.
Nah,
Damn
because
near the same.
they're ahead of Division 2 football. It's like FCS.
No, but I'm telling you, go on YouTube and search Trey Lance.
I'm sure you already have.
Western.
I have. I watched
Was
it.
it Western?
I definitely.
Michigan?
I've
What was-
watched all.
no,
of it.
North Dakota State highlights.
Yeah,
And
I was
there's not
watching him
one
like
play
he's a
that he
monster.
made that I'm like, yo, that would work at the NFL level. Not one.
What they
It's
liked
all
about
like
him.
in the pocket passes, wide open, or on the run, wide open.
Well, he
or
ran the
running
pro style
over, like,
offense under
15-year-old
center.
kids.
Like that was the main thing that drew Shanahan is under center play, and like he wasn't just running like a drop back shotgun spread offense, and like that's what we do. We go under center a lot, and I saw improvement. I mean, did you watch him play at all this year? Like every
No, he
game?
only played a game and a half.
Did you watch his games last? I mean, last.
I didn't watch the Bear game that he had this year. That was his only full game, right? He got hurt the second game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Wasn't that Bears game? That was like
And
a
that Bear
monsoon.
game was
and
a hurricane.
and he actually
happening.
played well until the very end when the rain started. Like everyone shredded him for his like completion percentage being like under 50% or not under, like around 50, like 55% or something. But his completion percentage was good until they got down by a score, and in the fourth quarter it was pouring, and so we were throwing the ball every play, but like he couldn't we couldn't throw it he was missing every pass, and so his stats like looked totally changed, and he looked like shit in the stat chart in the sheet, but really he played better than what it showed. It just like
I mean that's a tough. I mean your first like real start, it's a fucking Hurricane Katrina coming in.
It was
against
ridiculous.
you. Okay, actually, I'll take back what I said. He's not a backup because I mean, is Garoppolo? Is he on his last year of his deal?
Yeah, they
this last year.
Okay, so yeah, the Lance is going to start next season.
I mean, they traded a lot of picks to get him.
So I mean,
he's gonna start.
he'll get another crack next year at it, and it sucks that he got hurt. I feel bad for him.
That's
honestly.
the toughest part.
But
because you won him there like because you only get better by playing, and so like
I saw a stat too that like
he hasn't played
like
3
compared
years.
to like any other quarterback. Yeah, he has played like the least amount of football.
Yeah.
Versus any other QB like from like their like because he played 1 year at college.
COVID,
COVID
the
year happened,
showcase game.
And then his rookie year he didn't play, and then he played 1 game this year. So in the last like 4 after this season, 4 years of football, he's really played like 1 season at North Dakota State.
And he's only 22 though.
He's still young. He could make it happen. But yeah, again, he's obviously just such a mystery and wild card at this point to where we can't really say, and I maybe show him because we can't say shit because we haven't seen shit.
And so I feel like that's what I look at. Like, if I was looking for the future, I would take him over Mac Jones for sure because I've seen what Mac Jones is, and I don't want that. Justin Fields.
But let me ask you this: I think that Mac Jones in the Shanahan offense could be just as good as Garoppolo.
Oh, absolutely, I agree with that.
If not better.
Same type of quarterback.
Same type of player. I just don't like Mac Jones for some reason. I think it's just
his upside. He does not have upside. He does not have that high.
All right, nobody goes off.
But in a right scheme that he's probably going to at least be a middle tier QB for you.
All I know is if I was screaming like that, getting hauled off the field, I better not come back for the rest of the season. That's all I know.
What do you think about the Zap attack?
I think he's better. I think he should be starting. I think, yeah. I like Zappy way better than Mac Jones. I think I just have something against Mac Jones, honestly. But
that's what it sounds like.
You do not like Mac Jones.
Yeah, I don't know.
So To, how would you have these 5 guys ranked? What would be your power ranking for them? Lance at 1?
Yeah, I want to put Lance at 1 just because, like, if I'm going to put Lance at 1. I'm going to go Lance, Lawrence, Fields, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones. If there was a way to put them both, Zach Wilson and Mac Jones, both at the bottom, I would, but
So let me ask you this. Do you think that Mac Jones would be doing better right now on the Jets than Zach Wilson's doing? It's a tough one.
You have to eat your words there, huh?
It's a tough one.
Yeah, that is a tough one.
I personally hate Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
just throwing him out of games,
and that might be kind of a preference thing.
I think the reason I take Zach Wilson is because I do know he has a better arm talent than Mac Jones. So I think you can't learn arm talent, and not saying he's gonna get better, but I guess I'd say I'd hope that he would learn the game more and get better, make better decisions.
I mean, the talent's no question.
Because you can get better at making decisions. You're not going to get the arm talent. And so, I mean, they're both bad, but
I think there's just some quarterbacks though that just they don't
ever get it.
Feel for a pocket awareness or a quarterback. Like I think Carson Wentz is like the perfect example.
Yeah,
with a work ethic.
And Zach, it's an interesting debate.
I wouldn't want to be making that choice.
No, and honestly, it's tough because I mean this QB crop from last year. I mean, this was one of the most hyped up QB crops in some time,
Yeah.
and I mean, based on right now, it's really not looking anything special.
Very
at all.
underwhelming.
Yeah,
extremely, just to say the least. All right, next question though. Beyond that, Tony Pollard. Let's get to our guy TP here. I mean, any analytical stat, I mean, he's right at the top in all the RBs in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Do you all think that Tony Pollard is a top 10 running back in the NFL currently?
He might be at the back end.
Top 10?
Might be.
Maybe not top 10, but top 12, I'd take him for sure, I think.
I think that he is top 10, and I'll tell you why right now. So, like I said, he is near the top in almost every meaningful category, and the eye test obviously does not lie. Like, anyone that watches Cowboy games sees that burst, sees that explosion, sees the vision. He's got it all. And according to PFF, he's the third best running back in the league behind Josh Jacobs and Nick Chubb, two of the best to do it currently. He is leading the NFL in yards per carry, tied with Travis Etienne at 6.2. He is first in yards after contact with 3.6 per carry, and he's the definition of a home run threat. He's tied for third in 20-plus yards run. He's tied for second in 30-plus yards run. He's leading the league in 40-plus yards run, and he's tied for first in 50-plus yards run. And we got to keep in mind, too, he's only averaging about 10 carries per game. I mean, and based on all these stats, too, the fact that it's a guy that's getting 10 carries per game is kind of wild in my mind to even believe that he's, leading these stats like he is, specifically the explosive plays, considering most of the guys that are, at the top of these explosive plays are getting 18 to 22 carries per game. I think he's a top 10 running back in this league, and as a Cowboy fan, I wish that Jerry Jones would just say fuck it and put him as the RB1 and let Zeke still get 8 to 12 carries a game or whatever, but Tony Pollard's the better player, and I think Tony – I mean, let's do a breakdown here. I would say I think we all agree Derrick Henry's better than him, yes.
McCaffrey,
yes.
Saquon,
yes.
Mara.
Did you say Chubb?
Chubb, yes.
Dalvin.
Yeah, I'll give Dalvin, yes.
Kamara.
6.
I think he's better than Najee.
Yeah, he's better than
Najee. He's better than Najee too.
Mixon.
I'd rather have Pollard than Mixon right now.
That's not
Mixon talent. I like Mixon's talent. Their O-line is just playing so bad, man.
Well, Pollard can catch the ball better than Mixon can.
My thing with just like running backs is
Mixon had 7 catches this week.
I want a running back that has that breakaway speed.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that was one of the big reasons I love the McCaffrey thing was because if you have Elijah Mitchell or Jeff Wilson back there, let's say there's a wide open hole, playoff time, right? That might be a 20, 30-yard run. But with McCaffrey, if you're on your own 25, that's a 75-yard touchdown. And that could be all the difference if you advance or go home right there. And Tony Pollard has that. We've seen him do it time in, time out. I mean, this past week he had 14 carries for $131 and 3 touchdowns, averaged 9.2 yards per carry. This guy's going to get fucking paid in free agency. I think a team's going to pay him a lot of money as well.
Eckler?
Yeah, Eckler.
I'd take Eckler over.
Yeah, I'd put respect in Eckler's name.
What?
JT.
Yeah.
You're taking him over JT. I know that. I know you too well.
Based on right now, I'm going to take Tony Pollard for JT.
Ooh.
What I've seen this season.
All right, what about
at least because Pollard gives you a dual threat too? Because Jonathan Taylor's never been known for his ability to catch passes.
Tony Pollard or ETN?
Pollard.
Oh,
that's close.
Right.
Actually, I actually have a Would You Rather segment brewed up right here if you want to go over it.
Sure.
Okay, I have about 8 running backs listed right here.
All
right. So would you rather have Tony Pollard or this current NFL running back? Tony Pollard or Josh Jacobs?
Pollard.
Jacobs.
I'm gonna say Jacobs too, just based on what he's done.
He's been nice, man.
He's been.
He had some cupcake ass matchups, so
he's been a dog though.
Jacobs a little thicker than Pollard, and he's still got the shake, and he's got the speed.
He's got the
my
shake.
Biggest
he's
thing
got the
that
quake.
my biggest thing that Pollard has is his receiving ability. That's what I like. And
I mean, he coming out of college, he was a receiver.
Yeah, he's got good hands. He's got soft hands.
I mean,
all right, next one. Tony Pollard or Aaron Jones?
Pollard.
I would agree with Pollard. Tony Pollard or your boy Travis Etienne?
I like Etienne.
Etienne, yeah, I'd take Etienne.
I think Etienne's got a little bit more pop.
I disagree. I'm going to take
Pollard. They're very similar, you know.
They are
similar guys. They are.
I'm a little biased, I'll say that.
Tony Pollard or Dalvin Cook?
Dalvin.
How old is Tony Pollard?
25, maybe?
He's got to be about 24, 25.
I'm going to go with Dalvin just out of respect.
I am too, just from what we've seen Dalvin do year in and year out. Tony Pollard or Dameon Pierce?
No, Pollard.
Dameon Pierce has been
Dameon Pierce, bro. I'll take Dameon Pierce.
I'm going to take Pollard. Tony Pollard or Jonathan Taylor?
it's hard because you think about last year and then you're just seeing this year and you're like, well,
the problem is
which one are you getting?
Sorry, it's tough just because Tony Pollard does have like a smaller sample size. He's only been the bell cow for how many, like 3 games?
Yeah.
To where he's like truly been the guy.
He really hasn't been the bell cow. Even when Zeke was out last week, he only got 13 or 14 carries.
God, really?
Really?
Tony hasn't been a bell cow in his whole career. So I mean that
almost makes you want to take JT because JT can give you 25 carries.
Yeah, because Pollard's kind of smaller, you know. Like, how much he weigh? Like, how much is he? Is he like 200? Maybe. That's what I'm saying. You know, can he take that every down 20 carries a game?
Can he be that dog?
Mm-hmm. I gotta take JT just out of respect for 1,800 yards.
I'm gonna take JT.
I'm gonna take Pollard.
Oh.
I think this next one's good. Tony Pollard or Kenneth Walker?
Oh, Kenneth Walker. I like Kenneth Walker.
I'm going to take Kenneth Walker, too. That guy's a fucking dog.
Yeah. I'm taking Pollard because of the receiving, and I like him more.
Tony Pollard or Leonard Fournette?
Tony Pollard.
Tony.
Fournette's stats are inflated.
Yeah.
All right. Tony Pollard or Saquon Barkley?
Saquon
for sure.
Yeah, Saquon. Yeah, that's all I got there. I didn't even have Saquon. That was kind of just for shits and gigs.
Man, I'm liking Dameon Pierce, man.
Dameon Pierce is
he's nice.
He's nice with it. There's no doubt about that whatsoever.
Man,
the thing that's nice about him too is he didn't get shit for carries at Florida either.
Yeah,
so he's a fresh guy.
Yeah. That 75-yard run against the Chargers was nasty too.
Oh yeah.
You want to take a timeout break? I gotta go piss real quick.
Yeah, get some water.
All right,
bet.
And we're back. Got a little piss break. All right, so now we're gonna hop into a few fantasy football topics. First one being, is Jonathan Taylor a top 15 play still in fantasy formats?
Oh,
I mean, I feel like he is because that would put him basically mid-tier RB2 at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd still be comfortable playing in there. I mean, it's just he hasn't been great, but I mean, he's still Jonathan Taylor, and the upside's still there. You're thinking maybe with the offensive coordinator getting fired, that might help, assuming that because clearly he wasn't doing great under the OC. So
you know,
I don't know. You'd hope that fixed things. I still, if he's your RB2, like
you're pretty good.
You gotta keep him there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it's just the expectations of you draft him to be like that stud RB.
He's definitely disappointing.
Just about any draft.
But you know, I'd hope with Ehlinger they can play that 11-on-11 football, maybe open up a little gaps for him. And you know, he didn't play a good chunk of the game went out with that ankle injury, then came back. So I don't know if his ankle gets better. I'd take him as definitely an RB2 for sure.
And now with Hines out of town too, you would think that he's going to get some more of that receiving action as well too. I think he's still a top 15 RB play.
I mean, you're definitely not happy.
Top 10, top 5.
You're definitely not happy. I mean, he could definitely get back there, obviously. I mean, he started thriving later in the year last year after like week 6 last year anyway. But, I mean, yeah, for people who drafted him either number 1 overall or if you're like Josh in our league and spent $69 on him, you're probably not too happy. But
do y'all do like a buy? Like,
yeah, we do
an auction.
Oh,
draft.
wow.
Yeah.
See, I took Joe Mixon at 5 with a reach, thinking he had a brand new O-line, thinking.
You didn't take your boy Kamara?
No, because there was all the suspension shit going on. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. But my running backs are all right, though. I got Mixon, Etienne, and Dameon Pierce, so it's all right.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
It could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
That's pretty cut and dry, I suppose.
All right, beyond that, so DeAndre Hopkins, you know, he fell pretty late in most fantasy draft formats. Looking like a beast now. He's put up back-to-back huge weeks. Is Nuke looking like the steal of the draft?
I mean, I think so. His ADP was 32 for PPR wide receivers.
87 overall.
Yeah, so, I mean, I feel like he has because either way, like even if you were, 1-5 when he came back, he could be the missing piece, or you've by now traded him off for some good pieces, or if your roster's already great and you added him, like could be unstoppable now. So it's the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
If you could weather the storm and wait for him to get back, then yeah, I'd definitely say he's the steal. He's gonna win people he might win the guy who got in our league.
He's probably going to be one of those guys that's one of the highest rostered guys on championship teams. With Nuke, this is the perfect case of just like case study of how impatient that just people are in this world nowadays. I mean, like in my other league, I've seen Nuke's been traded like 4 fucking times. I ended up getting him a few weeks ago for really next to nothing. Yeah.
Jeez.
But yeah, he 87th overall. I mean, he's obviously a locked-in wide receiver 1 now. The other wide receivers that were going near him were Rashad Bateman, Alan Lazard, Elijah Moore, Hunter Renfrow. I mean, he was going near some guys now that are pretty much droppable at this point. So yeah, if you could have held on to Nuke, and like you said, weather that storm, then you got a stud wide receiver 1 locked and loaded now.
I mean,
and
it definitely sucks if you traded him off before he came back, because you definitely got less value than what you should have.
Yeah, no, I in my league. So I initially I drafted Nuke in like the 9th round in my other league, and like week 3, I traded Nuke and Miles Sanders for Najee Harris, which looks like a terrible trade. Yeah, I bought into the Najee stock, which I shouldn't have done.
I was out on Najee.
But 3 weeks ago, after Dameon Pierce had like that 26-point game, I traded Dameon Pierce and Mike Williams for Nuke and Jamar Chase.
Ooh.
So now Jamar's out
so
now. Still, Mike Will's out too, though.
Yeah, so it kind of works out. And Dameon Pierce
works out. And
for Nuke, it works out, you know.
Yeah.
Dameon Pierce, I'm worried about him this week. They play the Eagles, and literally they just got he was lucky. He was lucky to get 14 points last week against the Titans.
This is going to be a Rex Burke.
Their D line just dominated the Texans O line. So I'm looking at the Eagles like they're going to absolutely murder the Houston O line because they're, so.
Yeah. I mean, the Houston has Cooks has been pretty quiet this year outside of Pierce. I mean, they don't have much, and the fact that they're probably going to be down in that game, yeah, I would have to agree. I'm not a big fan of Dameon this week. But beyond that, we've seen Deontay Foreman been popping off recently after the Christian McCaffrey trade. Is Deontay Foreman locked in as a running back too in fantasy football?
How did he do? Not this past week, but the week before.
He had 112 rushing yards.
I don't know the stats, but
something like that.
I think he had a touchdown too, right?
Yeah, 15 for 118.
He's looked damn good.
He looks good.
And I don't know who saw this coming, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was for me. I didn't realize he had 118 yards the week before too. I guess I was kind of like, well, maybe when Chuba Hubbard comes back, that might cut into a little bit.
Well,
but I don't.
Chuba had 100 yards
that
game
backfield
too.
To lose.
They both did.
Once I saw that, I think he's.
I think in any game script, and PJ Walker has been stepping up this year. In any game script to where the Panthers are not down by multiple touchdowns, Deontay Foreman is going to be an integral part of this game plan. And I don't see why he's not an RB2.
I think
unless they're playing like a Bills, or a juggernaut.
It really for me is like how are they going to use him? If they use him like I think they should, because he's a superior running back to Chuba Hubbard, then he could be a lock-in RB2 for the rest of the year. But I mean, if they try and split up these carries evenly with Chuba when he comes back, then that could hurt you. But I think they should give him on the majority of the carries. He's got the size to do it. He can take the workload.
I mean, he kind of looks like a little light baby version. of Derrick Henry. He's got the dreads. He's tall. Dreads.
He was the backup on the Titans. What, 2 years ago? Last year?
Something like that. I mean, that game against Tampa Bay where where Foreman had I think it just looked 15 for 118. I mean, Chuba had 9 for 63 and a touchdown, but it's like, I mean, if he's getting 15 carries to the 10, I mean, to the 9 that Chuba's getting,
last week Foreman had 26 for 118 and 3 touchdowns. The week before, 15 for 118, averaging 8 yards a carry.
I mean, I think Chuba will eat into some of those carries, but not to the point where he's not an RB2, because that offense is now basically gonna be Deontay. It's gonna be Foreman.
Yeah, it's the Foreman
lead
show.
That.
And Chuba's not that between the tackles guy. Chuba's that come spell you on third down kind of guy.
And PJ needs him to succeed in order for PJ to even be decent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like Deontay a lot more in standard formats versus PPR.
Yeah.
But either way, I think he's an RB2 based on how bad the RBs
All
are.
right, y'all tell me what y'all think. I got offered a trade this morning for Foreman and Ayuk were offered to me for CD. And I was like,
You got offered. You have
I have CD, yeah. I told him no. I declined it.
What else? What else do you have at receiver?
Oh, I got.
Because you said you said at RB you have who at RB? Damian
ETN,
Pierce,
Joe Mixon, and Damian Pierce.
So
it's not a need. That's why I really declined it because I mean Ayuk's been playing well, but
my concern with Ayuk though is with all the mouths to feed on that offense. I don't know if Ayuk's play right now.
That's what I think.
Well, he looked awesome last week because Debo was out.
But he also he had 11 targets in 2 weeks before, and then this week he only had 6 targets. But yeah, I have CD, Waddle, and DJ Moore. So
I'd hold on to CD.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was
got
like
3 good backs.
Yeah.
Play Waddle and CD, and then the other 3 at your 2 RBs.
Exactly. That's where I did. That's why I declined because I was like, I don't really need to make this trade. Like I'm sitting all right.
With anything too, like for anyone, I wouldn't want to trade for Foreman right now just because his stock is so high, and I don't really see his stock getting that much higher than it currently is.
No.
I could maybe see some 18 carries for 50 yards and 0 touchdowns in the future.
Because they were playing Atlanta, you know.
Yeah. Exactly. But next one, Kyle Pitts, pretty nice game this past week. Best game of the season, probably by far. Is he locked back into an every week starter at the tight end position?
The problem is, but I feel like because of how light the tight end position is, if you drafted Pitts,
you have to.
I feel like just because of his upside, you have to start him.
Because I mean, what's the next best case of what someone would have next to Pitts?
They could pick up Dulcich.
I mean, if you drafted Pitts when he was going,
you could pick up Dulcich.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I would rather start Pitts than Dulcich.
Just because of Pitts' upside, I feel like you have to start him.
Yeah. But I mean,
I would
have another great option at tight end.
I would hope Atlanta is going to realize that he's their only really passing attack threat.
Hey, Drake London.
But the problem is that Atlanta has been throwing the ball 8 or 10 times a game this whole season. Last week was the first week they threw it more than that. So like, are you really? How can you rely on 25% of the targets on 8 throws? You know.
Yeah,
you're gonna be tough. You're gonna be tough. I mean, you're gonna be kicking yourself though if you pick up fucking Bob Tunyon and start him, and Tunyon gets fucking 3 points, and Pitts could very easily get 15 to 20.
I think with the you know how we're stating it as an every week starter. Obviously, the tight end position, like you said, is thin as hell, and you really don't have many options there. To where if you have Kyle Pitts on your team, you're not going to have a Kelsey or a Kittle or a Goddard or Andrews or anyone else like that.
I mean, the past 3 weeks, Dulcich has in full point PPR, he's put up 12.4, 11.1, 12.7. So consistent.
He's been a great little waiver wire guy.
That's consistency. I mean, it depends on what you want. Do you want your consistency where you know you're going to get those points, or are you shooting for upside?
I feel like at tight end, I'm going to shoot for upside. Most of the positions, it depends who you got, and I maybe just take.
See, I feel like tight end, I like because consistency. It's like
I do too. Like I have Dallas Goedert as my tight end, and he has been like the ultimate consistency player. I mean, he averages like 12.
See, I have Ertz
week in and week out.
I have Ertz, and he's like that too. Like he's getting me at least 11. Like he's gone 11, 15, 10, 16, 10, 14. He had 6 and then 13. So he's getting you around at least 10 every week, which I'll take.
All right, let me ask you all this. We're gonna do a Would You Rather Kyle Pitts fantasy edition.
All right.
So for fantasy football purposes, would you rather have Kyle Pitts or this tight end? Kyle Pitts or Greg Dulcich?
Pitts,
yeah. Just for the upside, you got to take him.
Kyle Pitts or George Kittle?
Kittle. Kittle.
Kittle's been balling.
Kyle Pitts.
I know. Kittle's injury stuff worries me, but regardless, yeah, give me Kittle.
Kyle Pitts or Tyler Higbee?
How's Higbee done the last couple of weeks? He's still keeping it up.
No, he hasn't.
He had 3.5 and 1.7 the last 2 weeks.
Pitts.
Kyle Pitts or Taysom Hill?
Taysom Hill playing
How
quarterback.
did Taysom do
He's
last
listed
week?
as a tight end.
How did Taysom do last week?
Taysom listed as a TE. Taysom had 8.28, 10.12.
Did 8 last week.
Fuck, part of me wants to take Taysom just because of the other random shit he
Taysom's
does.
right now the 5th tight end in PPR.
Because he had like a 40-point week.
I think
he
I'm
had
gonna
that
take
30,
Taysom.
yeah.
I think I'm gonna take Taysom.
Take Taysom?
I think I'm gonna take Taysom just because he does other shit.
So, who you taking?
And they give him goal line carries in the red zone.
I'm going to take Kyle Pitts just from what I saw this week.
Kyle Pitts or Darren Waller? I had a soft spot there for you, didn't I? He has Darren Waller. on his team.
Waller's been
Waller's
he's
been tough, man.
this year.
Even when he's played, he really hasn't done much.
He had like 2 good games the first 2 weeks. And
I would take Pitts. So
I think they're both one.
They're
of the
pretty
same,
much
honestly.
they're
Yeah.
both got that athletic freak upside, but what do you trust more?
They don't do anything with it. I mean, I guess at least the Raiders are gonna throw the ball more, but
I mean, the Raiders are going to throw the ball more, but I think Pitts, if they learned anything this week, that he's more like a necessity. You know, like it's Pitts and Drake London, and you should throw to Pitts more. You know,
can I take a pass on this one?
you gotta answer the question. No passes here, buddy.
I'm going Waller just because I give me Waller.
I'd take Waller too, honestly, just for
Waller.
respect.
All right, last one. Kyle Pitts or the Muth, Pat Fryermuth.
I'll take the Muth.
How's Muth done the last?
He's been good.
Muth's done pretty
he's
damn
pretty
good.
good.
Right?
He's 9th overall.
What was in the last couple weeks though?
He missed a week too.
Are y'all full point PPR?
I'm still taking.
Yeah.
I'm still taking Pitts.
So you're taking
Yeah,
Muth?
I like consistency, and he's been pretty consistent.
He hasn't been bad. He's not been bad. All right. Well, that'll wrap up our fantasy.
Oh,
Blind resume.
Oh, my bad. Oh, yeah. Brophy's got a blind.
I got
Brophy's,
2 blind resumes.
Brophy's got a little trivia.
All
here
right,
for
all
us,
right.
though.
Well, it's not trivia.
Technically, it's trivia, right?
I mean, I guess. Okay. So this is blind resume. The first one's going to be quarterback edition.
Okay.
All right. Player A. 1,924 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, 3 picks, a 72.7% completion percentage, and 142.7 fantasy points. Player B. 1,694 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, 4 picks, 58.8% completion percentage, and 102 fantasy points.
Player A is Geno Smith.
I know you knew that.
I'm having my team.
Yeah.
say
I
the
have
second
no
one
idea
again.
who Player B is.
The numbers.
1,694 yards, 6 touchdowns, 4 picks, 59% completion percentage, and 102 points.
Is Player B Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Are those passing touchdowns or total touchdowns?
Passing.
Jalen Hurts.
Nope.
Are we supposed to guess these? Or are you supposed to give us a list?
Well, I'll let y'all guess until you want me to say it.
What does he have? 10 touchdowns?
6.
Six.
Player B has 6 touchdown passes.
I know it's not. And it's got to be somewhat of a big name.
It's going to be funny. Y'all going to be kicking
so
yourself.
Brady,
No.
Yeah, we are.
Stafford,
No.
Russ,
Yes.
Russ.
Russell Wilson.
That's just funny just because of, the situation, obviously. Just ridiculous how much better Geno's been than Russ.
All right, for the next one, list Player A
Uh-huh.
and then make it a multiple choice question.
In terms of what? Like, what do you make a multiple choice question?
So say like this player.
Oh, you want me to give you, like, options?
Yeah.
Oh, I done that. Jesus.
Like list Player A.
Okay.
then,
Well,
yeah.
these ones, the stats are very similar, so this will be harder. All right. I need to look at a list, honestly. Okay. Whatever. Player A, 38.
Wait,
It's
what
wide receiver. Wide receivers.
Okay.
Player A, 38 catches, 512 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 119 fantasy points. Is it A, Stephon Diggs, B, Jalen Waddle, C. Devontae Adams, or D. Cooper Kupp?
Devontae Adams.
Yeah. See, that's what I knew. Like, I couldn't. Fuck. I gotta. Yeah, I'll have to draw that out next time. Okay. Player B, 39 catches, 553 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 122 fantasy points. Is it? I need to look at a list just so I can fucking.
It's like
come.
the same
Yeah.
stats.
Yeah, I need to come. How did you? One sec.
The only reason I say that too is because I feel like if you just name those stats, we're just gonna be naming off.
Yeah, right. That's how I felt. I was trying to like think about the stats and numbers last
Well,
time.
eventually, I just feel like y'all would have a couple guesses, and then I just say it. Like, not for y'all to, like, truly. Like,
Okay, yeah, I guess we could do that too.
Okay. So you want me to list it again, and then y'all can guess?
How many touchdowns was
Sure.
this one?
Okay. So 5. They both have 5 touchdowns. So, yeah, player B, 39 catches, 553 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 122 fantasy points.
T. Higgins.
Nope.
Ooh, I want to say
Y'all just let me know when you want me to say it this time.
How many points does he have?
122. So 3 more than the previous guy, than Devontae.
So he's ranked like probably like 7th or 8th or 9th, something like that.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle.
no, he's
Nope.
not. God, it's not Devontae Smith.
AJ Brown.
He's not.
Nope.
Kind of just trying to think of like receivers from teams.
Let me just say it.
Hold on. Chargers. No.
Marquise Brown.
Nope.
Mike Evans.
Nope.
Chris Godwin.
Nope.
Five.
No. Debo Samuel.
Nope.
Brandon Ayuk.
Nope.
Oh fuck.
We'll just run down
I'm
the
trying to
list.
just think of like I'm trying to just run through like divisions in my head. It's not JJF. It's not a Packers
Yeah, no.
receiver.
Wait, Alan Lazard.
It's not
He's had 5. No.
Amon
No,
Ra.
he's had more
Nope.
touchdowns.
Nope.
Is it AFC or NFC?
AFC.
It's AFC. Okay. Amari Cooper.
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
So
Hell yeah.
Devontae was a number.
Devontae
Devontae Adams' ADP was the number 4 PPR receiver, while Amari Cooper's was number 28. And
Amari, steal.
Amari is about the same as Devontae.
Amari's been a steal.
He's been
man,
pretty
on my
good.
Team. I love it. I love
Yeah.
Amari. He's been awesome.
You ready?
That was a good one.
How do you feel about Deshaun coming back? Excited?
Dude, honestly,
Can't hurt him.
as an
Mhm.
Amari owner, I don't know, dude.
Right.
Like I don't mind
You're like,
Brisket as his
Brisket.
quarterback. Like Brisket targets the fuck out of him. Yeah, Brisket boy.
I like that.
Like he targets the fuck out of Amari.
So, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how. I don't know how he could really hurt Amari. I guess I could say because Amari is the only guy there that's a receiving threat. But the only thing I'm scared of is that the fact it might take Deshaun a little bit to build that chemistry.
And just to get it all back
Yeah.
together,
Hopefully Deshaun
you
comes
know?
exactly.
he looked pretty bad in
Deshaun's coming
preseason.
back so late. He did, and so like Deshaun's coming back so late too, to where I'm almost kind of scared to where like maybe it's gonna take Deshaun like 4 or 5.
Do you think they're just going to turn it right
and
over
then
to
by
him?
once he's held or once his
Yeah.
suspension's over? Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, they just pay that man so much
Give him
money.
$240 million guaranteed.
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
think once that his suspension's lifted, they're throwing him right in the fucking fire. I think. All right, good fantasy section, boys. Good trivia there, Brophy. All right, our favorite section of the week. We got our week 8
Oh,
against the
jeez.
spread picks. Brophy, you want to give us a rundown of our week 7 summary?
Oh, jeez. Okay, I'll have to look at it real quick.
Or I can pull it up if you don't have it. I got it right here.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, so week 7, one of our worst weeks, honestly.
My worst by far.
We had been on kind of a heater recently with our picks, but so week 7, Buzzsaw went 8-6, leading the charge. I went 8. Wait, I went 8-6 too.
No, he went
I'm
8.
looking at the
Yeah.
wrong week. My bad.
He went 8-7.
All right. So week 8. Yeah, we're on week 9 now. What the fuck? All right. Wait. Was this week 8?
Yeah, week 8.
All right, my bad. Week 8 recap. Not a good week. Buzzsaw went 8-7. I went 6-9. Hollywood over here went 5-10. Hollywood's worst week by far. Hollywood's been on a heater.
Not even close.
Buzzsaw is now tied with Hollywood, record-wise against the spread.
Hell of a resurgence.
D Money first week on the spreads went 7-8. Not bad.
D Money.
All right. So going into week 9, we got Buzzsaw at 69, 52-2. Hollywood tied at that same record, and I'm 61, 60-2. So I'm 8 games out of the chase. Still plenty of time left in the game to where I can creep up on y'all. I know I can.
Definitely
Just gotta have
can.
a
Just
few
gotta make
good
a few
weeks.
picks here and there.
Put them together.
A few fun stats too from last week. So in games that we all were on the same team, we went
Last year was a
1
weird week.
and 4. Typically, or 2 and 4. Typically in games we're all on the same picks, it's usually a pretty nice record. In games we were all on the same spread out of the 6, we went 2 and 4. That's a trend there from last week. But week 9, starting it off.
All right. Do you want me to go through it?
Yeah, sure.
Thursday night, the Philadelphia Eagles travel to Houston. The Eagles are 13.5-point favorites.
13.5.
13.5.
I'm going to take Philadelphia. I think they're going to beat
Yeah,
the shit
I'm
out
gonna
of
take
them.
So
it.
am I.
They're gonna stomp them.
13.5. And we're all in Philly,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Next, the Dolphins, the Fish, head to Chicago. They are 5-point favorites.
Getting Bradley Chubb, Jeff Wilson. Yeah, I'll take the Dolphins.
This one's kind of tough for me, man. I almost feel like
I'm taking the Fish.
the Bears may have some fight in them after trading a lot of their good players. But was it 5.5?
5, straight up.
5.
Where's is it in Chicago or Miami?
In Chicago.
I'm gonna go Fish minus
Yeah.
5 too. So we're all in Fish minus 5. Okay, next one.
Next up, the Buffalo Bills travel to MetLife to play the Jets. They are minus 13.
Oh my God.
I'm taking the Jets.
So Jets are plus 13.
Yeah.
They had Brees, I'd take them.
I don't want to pick Buffalo minus 13, but I am. Even though I don't really like that. That's so many points.
It's a fuck ton.
So what are you thinking here? Can Zach Wilson make it competitive?
Yeah, I don't think so, but they're deep.
Their defense has
Yeah.
been good.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Jets.
All right, so you are both on Jets.
It is a lot of points.
Next one. Oh, yeah, also Tuto. So we all pick a lock of the week, too. So out of all these games, just pick one that's your favorite, and then we'll call
All right.
that your lock.
Bet.
All right, next up, the Los Angeles Chargers head to Atlanta. They are minus 3. I'm taking the Chargers, and that's my lock.
That's your lock.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers minus 3.
Yep.
All
Getting
right.
Keenan back. Yeah.
Off a bye.
Off a bye. I will. Are they? How much of their team is coming back? Like, is Bosa back? Like, what?
I'd have to look, honestly.
I'm going to go Chargers minus 3 as well. Holly, keep in mind, this guy went 7-0 in his
Yeah.
first 7 locks. He lost his first lock last week.
Brutally.
I find it hard to believe that he loses back-to-back locks after.
I
winning
mean,
7
I
losses
like
to
I like the
Chargers.
lock. The one thing I do worry about is that the Chargers have a terrible run defense, and Atlanta likes to run the
That is
ball.
what I'm a little bit.
You know.
Yeah.
And Atlanta's been
Yeah.
competitive.
So
I mean,
that'd be
keep
my
saying
one
they have.
concern.
I'm giving the Chargers the benefit of the doubt of coming
Yeah.
off a bye and having multiple weeks to prepare for them.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go Chargers.
And they're due for a big. They're due
Yeah.
for a
With
blowout.
Keenan coming back, like I think they'll be able to do something. I'll go. Hey, and is AJ Terrell? Is he out still?
I think so. I believe so. I think they put him
Yeah.
on IR.
Yeah.
Not, I think he was just out last week. I don't know if he's on IR.
Hey, our boy Matt Hankins is on the Falcons practice squad. Folks, we're getting him on the pod soon. He's going to phone in. We're getting Matt on the pod.
Is this actually confirmed?
Not confirmed. But
my buddy's on the.
I'm gonna
my buddy's on the Colts practice squad.
Is he actually?
He's a wide receiver. Yeah, you could. He's fucking.
How do you know him? Is he
high school. I played ball with him in high school.
Well, we got to get what's his name?
Ethan Bernia.
Well, you got to get Ethan.
All right, no, I'll hit him up. I'll hit him up. He'll probably do it, like, for sure.
Yeah,
tell him he can zoom in for, like, if he wants to, like,
10,
like 20 minutes,
just a little little thing.
And we just ask him some questions about, what it's like being in.
Dude, yeah,
Ehlinger,
it's probably wild.
Whatever. Yeah, going up against Stephon Gilmore in practices. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but he just got on their.
Right,
this is his first year on their practice squad or on an NFL team. It's wild he made it.
That's dope. No, because I really our boy Matt. So we went to like high school. I've known Matt since I was like fucking 10 type of shit. It's been in the talks for a little bit. But we gotta get something confirmed with him. But yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'll hit him up.
All right, next one.
Next up, the Vikings travel to the Commies. They are -3.5.
I'm going Commies +3.5.
Give me the Vikings.
I have 4 favorites right now. I need a dog.
With the fire of Taylor Henicke, getting them boys ready to play, huh?
And they're getting a field goal too.
You said it's -4.
I'm gonna
3.5.
So so
4.
Commies are +3.5.
Yep.
Yeah, Commies are +3.5. Vikings are -3.5.
God, I want to take the Vikings.
Do you have any stats from this one?
In terms of
numbers for
monies,
like any of these games?
For sharps and stuff, or just stats in general. The sharps are 6 sharp moves on, or 4.
I'm taking the Vikings.
I'm also I think Henicke and them have been playing a couple close games, very emotional, tight games.
My only thing is like the fact that the Vikings, every win has been a 1-score game.
Yeah.
Commies are riding a high, and I think Washington might straight out win this game.
They very well could, but it's just the Vikings have been beating bad teams, and I still think
the Commanders' defense is not good.
Team.
Their secondary is bad. Justin Jefferson should have a day.
JJF will probably pop off.
And Kurt going back home.
I got to pick a dog, though. I haven't picked one dog yet. I'll go Commies.
All right. Next up is the Packers travel to Detroit. They are 3.5-point favorites.
Give me the Pack.
I'm taking Detroit.
No.
Give me the Lions.
Give me the Lions.
Give me the Lions.
Oh, God. That's a tough one, man. I think 3.5 is too much based on what the Packers have done. But God, I think Rodgers if there's a game that Rodgers and the Packers are going to get back, it's against the 1-6 Lions.
They should have got back against Washington.
I know we've been saying, about Rodgers and these boys. Fuck it out. He's going to take some ayahuasca before the game.
Get in the zone, lock in.
Fuck it. Fuck it.
All right.
3.5.
Next up, the Panthers travel to Cincy. They are 7-point favorites. The Panthers are 7-point 7-point favorites. This is a tough one.
Man, after watching them the other night, not be able to do shit.
I'm going to take Cincy just because the last time they got down bad, they kicked the shit out of, I forgot who they played. So Panthers not Panthers, Bengals are -7.
Yep.
I'm going to take Bengals -7.
The Panthers defense isn't, it's not good, but like they have some players.
It hasn't been terrible.
Guys.
Burns is good. J.C. Horn.
Still got Jack Thompson there.
Fuck it. I'm going to take the Panthers.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a field goal.
So you're on Panthers? All right, I am on a different game.
In a lot of them.
I think y'all are on all of the same right now.
So then I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna go Cincy. Yeah.
You're gonna go Cincy?
I don't know if that's the right choice though, but we'll give it a shot.
That's a tough one. I would not. I mean, I'm not a fan of really many of these, honestly.
Yeah.
But actually, I like Philadelphia. But
yeah. All right. Next up, the Colts travel to New England. They are +5.5. This is Luke's lock, by the way. He has the Patriots at 5.5.
That's his lock.
Yep. And I'm taking the Patriots at 5.5 as well.
Well, Luke's locks never hit, so give me the Colts +5.5.
I just have a hard time seeing how Ehlinger does against
I don't think
Belichick.
that this game's going to be very high scoring, and I think 5.5 is too many points. Like, I see this game being like 20-17.
Yeah.
I don't think the Colts are going to score 17 points.
Dude, I'm telling you, Ehlinger, he pushed the ball down.
But Belichick against like younger, like just starting quarterbacks, especially in New England, he kills them every
time. The Colts
time.
defense has been playing good.
I'm gonna take the Colts. Getting crazy.
All right. Toe and I are on the Colts. You and Buzzsaw are on the Pats.
Next up, the Raiders travel to Jacksonville. They are 1.5-point favorites.
Give me Vegas.
Yeah.
I think they're going to bounce back here.
I'm getting Vegas as well.
No, I'm gonna take Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
I think their edge rushers are gonna fuck up their offensive line, and Derek Carr's gonna look like shit again. I might just be bitter.
The Seahawks travel to Arizona. They are 2-point dogs.
See, that line's telling us something right there. Because you would think that the Seahawks should be favored in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Give me the Cardinals +2.
-2.
Or -2. Oh, God. This is a very tough one. I mean, this has the feel of a trap game, no doubt about it.
I'm taking
Seattle.
Every time I think a game's a trap game.
Kenneth Walker and Woolen's gonna try and his best against D-Hop.
I'm switching to Seattle as well.
I know asking for a sweep is a lot, but I'm gonna take it. All right, next up, this is the biggest, like, whoever loses this game, their season's done. The Rams go to Tampa Bay. The Rams are +3. I'm taking the Rams +3. I'm just gonna take whoever. I was gonna take whoever was a dog in this.
I'm taking the Rams too. I'll take the Rams
in Tampa.
They just got whooped by the Niners. They're embarrassed. They're gonna come out. I think they're gonna
come back to me on this one.
That's probably the toughest game to pick, honestly.
I don't know what to do on that. Come back to me.
All right. Sunday night, the Titans travel to Kansas City. They are 12.5-point dogs.
Is Ryan Tannehill playing?
Don't know yet.
Either way, I'm going Tennessee +12.5, and that might be my lock.
They're gonna try and slow the game down on Derrick Henry. So
you're going Chiefs -12. That's such a fat spread.
It's Andy Reid off a bye, though.
I don't care.
Andy Reid's numbers against the spread off a bye are
all the Titans have is Derrick Henry right now. Like, they don't have anything at wide receiver.
If the Titans can just
slow it down,
down this game, then they could definitely cover within 12.5 points.
With 13 days, well, they're also due for a loss for sure, and probably getting blown out.
But they don't have to lose, or they can.
Yes.
They could easily lose.
Yeah, very easily lose.
Just
so
12.5, baby.
Yeah, with 13 days of rest or more, Andy Reid is 27-6 straight up, and 21-12 against the spread, and 16-8 against the spread in the regular season.
He's due for regression. Give me the Titans.
Yeah. I'm taking Titans.
Titans. All right. What's the Monday Night Football matchup looking like?
It is Baltimore traveling to New Orleans. They are -2.5.
I'm going to take Baltimore, and that's my lock.
Mm-hmm. Lock. I'm on a lot. I think New Orleans might win this game straight up. Give me Give me New Orleans plus 2.5. Are they plus 3 or 2.5?
2.5.
They're not 3?
Nope. 3 of the 5 books, actually 4 of the 5 books they have on here are 2.5.
Don't like it, but I'm gonna take.
Actually, that's not gonna be my lock. I'm a little crazy with that. I'm gonna go Miami. It's my lock against the Bears. Yeah.
Miami. It's not a bad pick there. I would go Philly, but we can't pick a lock on a Thursday night game because it won't get posted in time. I kind of want to go Buffalo as my lock.
Minus 13.
I don't know, man. This is tough. Or Cincy in a bounce-back game. What are the sharps on the Cincy-Carolina game?
I believe they are on the Panthers. Let me check. They are 3 on the Panthers.
What about Vegas? I think Vegas is going to be my lock.
They have 2 sharps on the Jags, so that's not a lot.
What about Seattle?
I believe they're on the Seahawks. They have 2 on the Seahawks.
Yep, Seahawks are my lock.
Yeah, I considered that one
first. And I'm going to go Rams plus 3 as well there. All right. So we got my lock, Seattle plus 2, Hollywood's lock, Chargers minus 3, till your lock, Miami minus 5. Are we all good with our picks?
Yeah.
All righty. Good deal. All right. Well, that'll bring us to our last segment of the podcast today. We have a candy draft. Not a candy bar, a candy draft. All right. For pick wise, strictly for editing purposes on my end, you're going to be the 3 pick,
all
okay?
right.
Because it makes my life a lot easier when I edit these videos. 'Cause
How many picks do we get?
Okay. 5
5.
picks. So a 5-round draft.
And you can't if it gets
Always
drafted,
that
you
piece of
can't
paper.
draft it, right?
Correct.
That's
But,
kind of
I don't see. I can type on my computer.
Okay, that works.
Yeah. So, but also too, with our candy draft, we talked about this last night with M&Ms. We're not going strictly M&Ms. If someone picks M&Ms, you can pick peanut M&Ms, peanut butter
All right.
M&Ms,
all right,
or
cool.
whatever. Just want to throw that out there right now. But Hollywood, you are on the clock.
Give me
buddy.
Reese's.
Reese's?
Yep.
Alrighty. Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick whatsoever. I think I probably would have picked Reese's number 1 as well.
Yeah.
All right, my pick. Oh God. I want to go M&Ms here, but I know I could snack peanut M&Ms or peanut butter M&Ms later, so I'm gonna go with the Snickers bar.
Oh.
That's high for me.
I
Yeah.
love a good
No,
Snickers, man.
I hear you. I was probably
gonna
go Snickers.
Yeah, that's my board. That's my board.
My scouts had them a little bit.
I'm
higher.
gonna go a bit of a reach right here, boys. I've been loving them lately.
Payday.
Peanut butter M&Ms
Ooh,
over the original
M&Ms?
M&Ms.
Peanut butter M&Ms.
They are
are
so
fire.
I don't hate
good.
They are fucking fire. So you like them more than just
Oh
the
yeah,
peanut
for sure,
M&Ms?
for sure.
No, peanut butter M&Ms. If you haven't had them, they're fucking fire.
Get after it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that pick. I don't have a problem with it. All right, in tow, swing back around the 4th round.
Ooh.
What do you got? Or 2nd round pick?
I'm probably gonna have to say Sour Patch Kids.
Okay.
Yeah, you strike me as a Sour Patch Kids kind of guy. You seem as a like a little sour, little sweet shit in your life.
I've actually taken some acid coated Sour Patch Kids, so I like that pick.
That sounds good.
You're leaving that in the pod.
Sure, why not? All right, my pick.
Yes, sir.
What am I saying real quick? Fuck. I'll take this in out. Let's see. So we have, I think, the 3 Mecca. Actually, You picked peanut butter M&Ms. I'm gonna go regular, just
Okay.
M&Ms. Actually, no. Scratch that. Because I know I can get peanut. Hold on, I gotta. Go
I
to my
know,
juice
right?
board
I
here
was
real
literally
quick,
looking
man.
at candies, and I was like, shit, I don't know.
Oh no. Give me the Kit Kat.
Fuck you. God damn
Give
it.
me the Kit Kat. No doubt about it. Kit Kat is a staple in the candy world. I love a good Kit Kat.
Yeah, I was gonna go. All right, I'm going Twix with my next pick.
Ooh.
Then that swings back around to me.
Twix.
Yep. What do I want next? What's next on the board? This is definitely gonna be a reach, and I might get some flack for this, but give me the Milky
Ooh.
Way.
Oh, I think that's a reach.
I'm a big Milky Way guy. What can I say?
I'm not gonna lie. I think that's a reach, Brophy. I think you could have got the Milky Way in the fifth round.
Hey, they were higher on my board. There's nothing else I really wanted.
I can respect it when you like your guy, but I think you could have got him a little bit later.
Probably, but there wasn't anything else I could take up there. I think that I really.
I mean,
felt
there were
good in.
Skittles,
I'm like Milky Way over Skittles.
Butterfingers.
Oh, easy.
Okay. Am I back up?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right. I am going to go. Let's see. Milky Way, Twix, Kit Kat. Hold on. I gotta go back to my draft board here. I had a bunch of these. I forgot to write them down on my phone. My apologies here.
Gotta call my scouts.
Let them know.
I'm really thinking about taking the Skittles here. So I feel like you're a Skittles guy. But
I think Sour Patch Kids and Skittles go hand in hand.
yeah,
Am I
I'm gonna go
wrong?
Skittles.
They're pretty
I gotta
good.
Get them now. I gotta get them now before they get taken. I gotta get
All
Skittles
right,
right now.
all right, understandable.
That's a good pick.
But you left the nice and the better ones, the sour Skittles for me right here. So I'll take those.
Oh yeah.
Okay. This you're picking
Yeah,
the
you
sleeper
know.
picks.
I
here,
got.
man.
Wait, is it back to me now?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
You got back-to-back picks here.
All right, this is gonna throw you off for a whirlwind right here. A Baby Ruth. Yep.
A Baby
Wow,
Ruth.
a Baby Ruth.
Did not see that going in the third round.
I did
No,
not
that's-
see that
Did
going.
That's
not
fourth
see
round,
that.
right?
Wow.
Yeah, fourth round pick
yeah.
one. Wow, I don't even remember the last time I had a Baby
No, this is the
Ruth,
last
to
pick
be
of the third
honest.
round. This is 9 pick.
No, that was the last pick. That was the first pick in the fourth. Yeah, 10
Yeah.
pick.
So then what does he have? Oh yeah, I forgot.
Sour
He picked
Skittles,
My bad.
and before that I had Sour Patch Kids, and then I had peanut M&Ms. Yeah, man, Baby Ruth's underrated. Underrated. They're pretty good. I had to look up, some candies, and I saw those, and I remembered I do fuck with the Baby Ruth.
Gotta be honest with you, I thought I could get them signed.
I probably could. I probably could, but my last one. I knew y'all wouldn't get either. So
hey, you get your guy.
I
Go get your
like
guy.
my team to know I want them. Okay, I don't want them to think I'm signing them.
Oh, that's right. You're putting that. Someone already picked Flex Bar, right?
I think Baby Ruth probably did bad at the combine, but got great game tape.
Yeah,
gym rat.
He's a real
He's a
worker.
gym rat.
Right? That's what I mean.
Baby Ruth's putting in the work in the off season. He's getting to the gym before everybody.
He's like
Pretty
ready
much.
for him.
That's perfect, actually.
My next pick here, I don't know how popular this one's going to be, but personally, I love them. I'm going to go with the Butterfinger.
Butterfinger.
A Butterfinger. Give me a Butterfinger.
I think I definitely like how this shaped up. Shit, I'm about to go like all chocolate. All right, give me the Hershey bar.
Ooh,
Classic.
I don't like that pick. I'm not a big Hershey bar fan.
Dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
We go milk. What is that? What pick is that?
That was the 12th pick. Now the 13th pick.
And I'm gonna go Crunch Bar.
That's a good one.
I
forgot about Crunch Bars.
Okay, honestly, I did not think that this guy would be here with the second to last pick in the last round. I think he did me a favor by taking peanut butter M&Ms round 1. Might have been a reach, but
Peanut M&Ms.
They're still there, huh? Yeah.
Just regular old milk chocolate M&Ms. I don't think you can go wrong there. Last pick for me. He's gonna round out the team here.
All right, with the last pick in the draft.
Last pick of the draft. Yeah.
What I'm about to pick is, I feel like, either really hated by most people or people. Actually, no, I think they're just really hated. But as a kid, I loved dots.
Dots.
Oh, dude, that shit used to suck in my teeth like a motherfucker. That shit is the best. I love
Yeah,
Halloween,
you get them in
like
the
little
at
box
Halloween.
of
You always
them,
get those
box
little
of
things.
dots.
I'd fucking go steal them out of my sister's candy bag and take all her fucking dots. Yeah.
Dots. Not bad.
But
Not bad.
Dots
All right,
are bad.
well, that'll wrap up that draft. All right, real quick, Toe, we are gonna run through the picks again. So he's gonna say his, I'm gonna say ours. Just rapid fire, real quick, for real. Okay. So with our candy 5-round draft, with the first pick,
We're taking Reese's.
and with the second pick, I'm taking the Snickers
the
bar.
third pick, I'm taking the peanut butter M&Ms. Oh shit! And with the fourth pick, I took the Sour Patch Kids.
Fifth overall pick, give me the good old Kit Kat.
For the sixth pick, give me Twix. And for the seventh pick, first pick of the third round, give me the Milky Way.
For the eighth pick, quite frankly, I think this is a steal at this point in the draft. Give me Skittles.
With the ninth pick, I have Sour Skittles. And with the 10th pick, I have a Baby Ruth working his way up the charts.
Wow.
11th pick, give me the Butterfinger.
With the 12th pick, give me just a plain old Hershey bar. And with the 13th pick, give me the Crunch Bar.
My last pick, 14th overall, give me just milk chocolate, old regular M&Ms.
And with the last pick in the draft, I got a good old box of Dots.
Dots rounding it out. You know, I don't hate that at all.
You know, it's a good Halloween candy, you know? Like, you don't really see it much until Halloween time, I feel like.
Hey,
and that's where we are right now. I can respect it. I can respect it.
Let's see what got left off the board.
Yeah, what are our top undrafted free agents here?
Three Musketeers.
Wouldn't
I'm,
be my priority.
I'm a Twizzlers guy. I don't mind Twizzlers.
I didn't.
Sour Punch Straws. Those are good. Starburst. Nah, we missed out on Starburst.
I think we definitely, the pink Starburst, I think we missed out there.
I don't think a lot of people like these, but
I like Swedish Fish. I do.
Swedish Fish is good.
This is making me want to grab candy.
Like,
I'm going to.
Okay, would you? Gushers aren't a candy.
Oh, they definitely are. I think Gushers a candy.
Are they a candy
slap.
or are they like?
Gushers
Because I kept
Gushers
thinking like
slap.
fruit snacks and stuff, but like that's not really like a candy, you know?
I feel like Gushers is a
I
candy.
think Gusher finds
Yeah,
its
I
way
would have
into
put
the
Gushers
candy.
on my
I feel
list.
like
This shit was
Dots and
fire.
With the amount of sugar
That's
in
true.
Gushers, I think they find their way in
I
there.
feel like Dots and Gushers are like almost one
Yeah,
and the same.
probably.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, one does come in a packet, but
Yeah, I think Gushers will sneak its way into the
I would have put it on
Gusher
there.
one.
hey, a York peppermint patty.
Yeah, that can find itself on a practice squad somewhere.
I don't mind a York peppermint patties. Sometimes I got them in like the waiting room some places.
And
Don't hate
that
it.
goes to show if there's a candy in a waiting room, it's probably
If it's still
No,
there.
in some eyes, but you know what?
yeah, it's probably been sitting there for a good old year or two.
I've definitely had a couple of
You could-
bad York
hey,
peppermint
Worth the
I will
risk,
give
though, huh?
you the York peppermint patty.
Gotta find out.
Worth the risk.
Not a bad, not an old one, not one that's been sitting there for a while. I wouldn't
I
recommend
mean, it
that.
depends on how long we're
I
talking
mean,
about.
you gotta
here.
find out though. You don't know how long
I
it's
mean,
been sitting there.
If you go to some random dentist office, there's a good shot a York peppermint patty's been sitting there for at least 3 to 6 months.
Well, I mean, is it
You know those little fucking kids are not one to indulge in.
is it
that
around?
shit.
You know, what time of year is it? And then you can really figure it out.
I mean, let's say
I like. It's a good
Yeah,
winter.
if it's winter.
It's a
Let's
good winter
say
chocolate.
Halloween time. Like, if it's winter,
If it's like a, if
maybe
it's
some
like,
hot cocoa and a York peppermint pat.
if it's like a mid January like crisp morning or no, a crisp night. Definitely a crisp night. I definitely wouldn't hate
Nice York
peppermint
peppermint patty in the morning. Just roll out of bed.
A good old January.
You just got a
crisp
bowl of
night.
them right next to your bed. You
Okay,
don't even have
actually,
to brush
I
your
will
teeth.
say, if I
I got York
Don't
peppermint
worry
patty
about
to
it.
brush tonight.
I can get on that as a roll out of bed type of
just grab
dessert
it.
item. A York peppermint patty, yes, because you're not gonna roll out of bed at 2 a.m. and eat a fucking Snickers bar. But a York
I beg to
peppermint
differ,
patty,
Uh,
but you know we're trying to be health conscious here. A York peppermint patty, your breath's all right. You know you're not fucking
Yeah,
peanut
you know.
mouth,
Yeah.
Peanut
or
mouth.
whatever. So it could work out.
It could be all right.
Work out. Could be all right. Depends on who you ask. But all right, well, I think that'll wrap it up.
Hell yeah,
Toe. Pleasure to
Of course,
have you on,
man. Thanks for
brother.
having me, guys. It was a good
Thank
time.
you again
It was a
very
like
much.
pleasure. Of
course,
course,
Good to
man.
see
Good to
y'all.
see you.
And for about the 40 to 50 consistent viewers that we have, again, find us on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on RSS, on Spotify, the whole nine. And again, I'll mention it again. There's a Patreon for the 14-year-olds out there that want to debate us on if Taylor Henicke or Sam Ehlinger is a good quarterback. Please
Please get on.
pay the $5 a month subscription. We'll have you on. We'll throw in the Zoom TV. We'll have you right here, and we will go to war. But all right.
Jesus.
Beyond that, we will see y'all next Tuesday after wrapping up Week 9, and you motherfuckers punch the air.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Not a Hitler
Just
sign.
one.
Just do that. Just one. Just one.
Kind of wanted to do it, but then again,
Not one of those. Not that. Just that. Okay. All right.
Fist actually, not
Yeah,
open.
keep that
Ciao.
closed.